just on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare. But when I stopped to see those eyes begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try. If I bleed tonight, if I accept tonight, I don't have the time to find. If I wait tonight, I'm so tired tonight, I'm falling asleep when I'm home, when I'm There's no way to go, no one that can see through at the side of the light. I can see my life is crap, I have to see them too. I just live into my world, far from the pain they feel. Just out of reach of desire, was not aware of the start of hell. But when I stop to see those eyes begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try. If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, dirt fans, we're back here for the Hometown Heroes tonight for the cool race, Coast2Coast Racing League. We got some exciting stuff here tonight. So sit down, get geared up, get all your refreshments ready, as we'll be talking about a lot of stuff throughout the night. As qualifying's about to come around, that's the Pit Stop Podcast qualifying session. And if you've not checked out the Pit Stop Podcast, definitely check them out there on the C2C, or Coast2Coast Racing Network on YouTube, which we are live tonight here, and OSR Network on Facebook. But definitely check them out. Preston Cranmer and Roger Craig, week in and week out, to give some, info about what's going on in the league, plus to get some great interviews with drivers, sponsors, and the like. So definitely check that out, Pit Stop Podcast. Right now, though, we are in our kind of cool race intermission here, and John, we've got a lot of great stuff going to happen tonight. We've obviously got our 305 is going to kick us off. We got the 360, and we've got it's a Steve King Foundation. It's kind of memorial style race here tonight, which is going to be cool. And then later on, we had it last season, the endurance race with the Street Stocks folks. If you didn't watch the last season's endurance race, you're in for a treat with that one. So it's going to be interesting, John.
Yeah, it's going to be an action-packed night. It's an exciting night, exciting time to be part of the league, to be honest with you, with us honoring Steve King here tonight, also having an Enduro, which those are always really entertaining. And then coming up right around the corner, we got, working with the Steve King Foundation, we're going to do a fundraiser for Brody Sim, who just recently got hurt. So a lot of things going on, and, we'll go through it through the evening here, and hopefully you guys enjoy the ride, and we can entertain you tonight.
Absolutely, and definitely always check out c2crl.com for all the information of what's going on in the league today. With all the fundraisers, all the stuff that's happening, and qualifying session underway. And as always, what we love to do here, John himself gets out on the track week in and week out for us here at the Hometown Heroes. Kind of goes around the track and gives us some pointers or places of concerns that these guys might want to look out for, or might some of the things we might see tonight. So, John, what do we got?
Well, this track is, it's got 4 corners, and they look pretty well the same, but they really don't drive the same. It's kind of amazing. From one feels a little bit more narrow coming off the corner with the wall coming right out here. The backstretch, when you come out of there, you feel like you got a little more room because there's not a wall. But I've seen a lot of guys the last couple times, once they come out like this, it's real easy. There's a big lip right here, and you can almost see it piled up here. And as my car wants to just turn away from it, but you get 2 tires up over this, it yanks your car down and onto this axis. And if you do that during the race, and you've got the field behind you, coming right back out on the track like this can cause a lot of problems. So one of the things that you got to be careful coming out is knowing the track limits, in addition to having to know, hey, is there a guy out there? Is there a guy inside? But these track limits here, and the same thing here, just jumping over and touching this wall here, both are just tough to do, and you've really got to pedal the car to not do that, and keeping the car as straight as you can and whatnot. And it all depends on your line. Sometimes if you miss your entrance to one of these corners, like down here, it's gonna mess up here on your corner exit and send you right off the track. So these guys are going to have their hands full here tonight, no matter which lane. The nice thing about this track is once it gets worn in, all 3 lanes are viable. You can run up high, you can run low, you can run right through the middle. You know, up here you've got the, you know, the danger zone of going over this edge here. But, you know, I'm noticing more guys starting to do, let me hop around here one more time in the back straightaway, but I've noticed a lot more guys doing this, and I did it in practice a little bit when the track was slick, and man, it was getting some really nice runs as entering the corner high and then driving down the hill, almost like what you would do on a restart. And I'm telling you, I was picking up a lot of speed and gaining on the guys in front of me. And the key to doing that is when you come through here, and you can do this on either end, but when you come through here, once you turn down, the more you kick your back end out as you turn down right here, the more speed you're going to scrub. What I like to do is, you see the green light up there where the flag stand is. I usually like to just drive straight to that flag stand out like this and just kind of pinch it off and go straight down the straightaway. So I think more guys I see doing that, those are the guys I kind of watch for. I think that you get runs coming out of the corner, and that's a good way to pass here.
Absolutely, and that's some good insight of what we're going to see tonight as we're getting set for Heat Race 1 here. Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints, 37 years, 360 sprint car action from the northeast of U.S. to Canada. They got a lot of stars. Check them out on Facebook and Twitter, as always. Lucas Oil Super Sprints. We got out front Daniel Vault, Patrick Spangler going to start in second, Brian Moore Sr. in third, Lance Ripka in fourth, G.J. Boydell fifth, Dean Reynolds up in sixth, Jeffrey Kemper in seventh, and John Hines not going to be out there, folks. So just in spirit again.
Yeah, and they're waiting for me to line up too, since I got in the first one there, and I got to DQ myself here real quick. So they don't have to wait on me in the C feature there. But yeah, this is going to be exciting. Daniel Vault was second in the points last season. Patrick Spangler's really quick. You know, you got Brian Moore Sr., who's been on an uptick this season here. So that the top 4, they're locked in. As anybody, this is your first time watching us, we take the top 4 and they automatically transfer to the show. And looking at the car count, we may only have a B feature tonight. I mean, it's possible we have a C, but we may only have a B. But normally you want to get in that top 4 because you don't want to be in that B or C because, for a lack of a better term, all hell can break loose in those B or C's.
Yeah,
so you don't want to be in those. So that top 4, that's your goal. You get in there and try not to make any mistakes once you're up there. I know if you're sitting 4th, you definitely want to try to move forward a little bit because you're right on that danger zone. You like to have that cushion, but we've seen guys running 2nd, make that mistake and knock themselves right out of the feature there. So
and you bring up the fact you were talking about the 4th place stands too, is even though you want to get more, sometimes if you see you can't, don't overdo it, because we've seen guys on the last lap lose that 4th place spot.
Oh, absolutely. And I've said it a lot here lately. This track it's only willing to give you so much. You can't take anything from this track. If you do, it's going to bite you most likely. And that's, drivers are greedy. It's bitten me. You want to get that little extra, or if you're racing a guy, you want to try to get that little bit extra in to maybe clear him with a slide job. Overdriving as you go up the slide, you go right over the edge. So it lures you into, you can run some laps and get to feeling pretty comfortable, and it just kind of lures you into a false sense of security, and before you know it, off you go.
All right, getting set to go green flag here. All right. Like you said, the top 4 go to the feature. And then from there, the rest of the guys are going to have to go through those consolations here tonight. It's getting set, Heat Race 1. Hometown heroes here for the Cool Rays Coast-to-Coast Racing League, folks. Going to be a good one. These are the 305 wing sprints here at Lernerville. I always like kind of saying that because this place, it's in its name, Lernerville. You learn one. There's no walls here, and like you've said many times, you can end up off there in the woods. As we're getting set, green flag's about to fly. Heat Race 1. We're off.
We are, and as always, side by side, 2x2, all the way through the corner, coming out on the back straight. Patrick Spangler looks like he has a run on Daniel Vaught going into 3.
Yeah, it looks good. Side-by-side action as the top 4 guys still clamoring. Vaught's there. Spangler, in the meantime, he wants it. Those 2 guys better put some good sliders on each other. Spangler is there, trying everything he can. He got Moore Sr. in the back. He's battling out with Lance Ripka.
Yeah, and then the battle for 4th now is really heating up as Ripka also has company from Dean Reynolds there trying to take that spot and get himself in the feature.
Yeah, this is what you don't want to see. Ripka's right there now. He falls to the outside looking in the 5th place. Reynolds takes over the 4th place. Up front, here comes Moore Sr. He's battling for 2nd place as Vaught. It's a 3-wide battle for the lead. Look out. They thought about it going in that turn.
Yeah, it looks like if I was the 51 car there, I'd definitely be trying to move up because the top seems to be, these guys are just getting huge runs coming off the corner. There he is. He moves up there. Must have heard me there, but he, that's where you want to be right now.
Top 4 kind of breaking away. You see Reynolds moving up on the back end of Spangler. Let's see if he's going to try to peek on the inside, maybe put a slide job on him at the last possible minute. In the meantime, Moore Sr.'s not content with hanging on to 2nd place. He wants that lead here and take the first heat race. And remember, don't want to get yourself in trouble. We've seen time and time again guys push the issue and the envelope up front, and then they get themselves in trouble. A good slide job, though, by Senior. Crisscross here by Vaught.
Yeah, remember, the winner of this, too, also is going to lead the feature. They'll be on the pole in the feature. So these 2 guys they got a little bit here to run for. Front row starting spot in that feature.
White flag one more time. Moore Senior out front. Here comes Vaught around. They're going to come around the turn. Final time. Senior's going to get it. Vaught's 2nd. Spangler's 3rd. And Reynolds going to come up in that final transfer spot.
It's a good little heat race there.
Yes, it was. Good and racy there. Senior wasn't, but that hits us in heat race number 2. Icon Sim Sports. And folks, if you're looking for a good rig, it's going to suit you, one of a kind, check out iconsimsports.com. They will definitely get you set up. And moving today in some sim racing as we got Andy Patton out front, Zach Chapman sitting in 2nd, Donovan Ross there in 3rd, Randy Shreves in 4th, Terry Landis in 5th, Justin Sick in 6th, Alan Sun in 7th, and Nathan Aldridge rounds out the top 8. Again, top 4 to that feature.
Yeah, and Nate is he's going to be he's doing the adminning, so he won't be on the track here. So we'll start 7 for this.
All right.
But
Alex
again,
Sun, is that a new driver? Alex Sun, I haven't really seen that name.
Yep, I think this is the first time I've seen him in anything. So I mean, it's possible he's ran something else, but he, nonetheless, yeah, you're correct. He is new, and I'm kind of curious with Justin Sick back there. Justin's a quick driver, so is Terry Landis, and man, this is a loaded heat race. I'm looking at. It is, yeah. I don't mean to leave Alex out because I don't know who he is, but you look at Andy. You look at Andy Patton, Zach, Donovan, Randy, Terry, Justin. All of those guys are capable of winning the main event tonight, and there's 6 of those guys and only 4 spots to go in. So I got high hopes for this to be entertaining here.
That's right. Now, you speak of Justin Sick, though, and a lot of Justin, he said he took a little bit of time off from the wing sprints. So maybe he's just getting back into the groove of these. I mean, we primarily see him on the big blocks and obviously the late models. And I know last week he commented saying that, I'm just trying to get back in the groove with these wing sprints. So, hey, getting up on 4th place definitely will get you back on the right track.
Yeah, and he is just trying to come back and run these now a little more often and whatnot. But, his talent level, he's a very solid driver. I've raced with him a lot on Thursdays in the big blocks and the late models, and he can get it done in those cars. I think it's a matter of time before he starts getting it done and challenging up front in these things. Yeah,
I mean, and like what you've said, it is definitely two different beasts and animals when you jump from car to car. You just got to have that. And still dirt racing nonetheless. Pace truck's off. Here we go. Patton and Chapman up front. Heat race number 2, Icon Sim Sports. As green flag flies, they head off into turn 1. Not a good start for Patton.
No, a little late maybe getting onto the gas. I don't know there, but it's going to really cost him big time.
Yeah, right there. Lost a lot of momentum. That puts Landis on his inside along with Justin Sick down there. And there's like almost a 3-car battle for that 4th place spot. You see Justin Sick gets up into 4th place.
Yeah, Andy got loose there coming out of the corner, but he's still got that preferred line up top. You know, he's going to work his way back around Justin there in the fourth going into turn 3.
Yep, you see it up top. Patton is going to see, going to hold that top side. As Sick was able just to fall off just a little bit. I don't think the low line has come in yet. Might come in by the time the feature gets here, but you see Sun down to the top side. He's going to see if he can't take it, the number 5th place spot away from Justin. In the meantime, Chapman out front. He's got Shreves all over his back tail tank.
Yeah, that top side's where you want to be at this point, looking at that track. That's just the quick way around. The runs that you're getting, these guys are getting off the corners, is a big, big advantage.
Shreves going to throw it on the inside, try to look, maybe make Chapman be a little bit weary as he's got that top lane, but he's not going to give up that top lane. I mean, there's no way Chapman's going to move out there unless he just makes a mistake. So Shreves is going to have to try to do something. Maybe throw a slider on the inside. Here it comes. Ross to the inside. He's going to try it, though.
Yeah, and, you know, the thing is, you keep playing peekaboo like that, you know, around somebody, where they can hear you, or if they're mirror driving, they can see you diving around. That's a good way to get into somebody's head, maybe make a mistake and then put a tire wrong and, you know, open the door for you.
And you talk about a mistake. The biggest mistake we see here is that when they're running up there on that top side, ripping that cushion, is actually going over the top of this track because there is no wall there. So that's where you want to, you know, you've got to have a lot of concentration going around this place. You know, many times that you've raced it. As we come to the final lap, final time, Chapman's going to get it. Shreves in second, Ross in third, Patton's going to hang on to that fourth and final transfer spot.
Yeah, and that's just it. You get somebody, you know, worried about you, and it throws their timing a little bit. And running that top side is all about timing, where you're lifting, where you're getting back on the throttle, how long you're rolling, all the things that you actually do from inside the car to get around that corner on that lip. If you got somebody hounding you, it makes it super easy to screw up and make a mistake.
Heat Race 3 Super Dirt Car Series there, the premier Northeast big block modified premier with a lot of drivers from Florida to Canada. Check them out, the Super Dirt Car Series. If you like some big ground pounding, we got Templeton out front, Victory in second, for Straighten up in third. McCarran starts fourth, Zane Walters, up in fifth. Jeffrey Barker in sixth, Billy Richardson in seventh, and then we got Connor Ross rounding out the 8th place spot. As again, top 4 drivers in this one go to that feature.
Yeah, in the front row, Nick Vickery's on that front row, and of course he's last season's point champion. I know he hasn't had the season that he wants. I don't think that he really cares too much for this track. I think he's starting to get a handle on it, but here's an opportunity for him to get a good run and get off on a good foot here tonight and get a heat win, being right up there on that front row on the outside, which we've seen it as the preferred line.
And we got a lot of good names back there. You got Walters, Ross, Barker, you know, in the back. I'm not really familiar with Billy Richardson, so we'll have to see how well he does back there. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and then you got Verstraeten right there on the 4th place spot, or 3rd and 4th place spot with McCarran. So again, a couple of drivers here going to get left out, going to have to run the Constellation that are, you know, very capable of winning, very fast drivers. We get set, green flag. We're rolling. Heat race number 3. You see Vickery get a good jump out in front of Templeton. Templeton's still going to fire back to the inside. Battles on for the 4th place spot between Verstraeten and McCarran.
Yeah, that run that Verstraeten carried coming out of 2 might even carry him all the way up to 2nd place as they come out of 4.
Wow, 3 wide, Verstraeten, Templeton. Then, boy, I tell you, Verstraeten did a power move to the inside, made it work for right now. We'll have to see if it's going to hold. McCarran holds to the 4th place spot. Walters is back. The top 4 guys are walking away. Big battle happening around about the 5th place spot. But in the meantime, Verstraeten's not content with being in second. He wants to lead.
Yeah, well, you know, we look at contact.
Oh, that puts Victory out. Wow, just like that, it can happen here.
Oh, and
look at
that.
Again. Templeton, wow, that's a big one. I'm gonna tell you what. Wow, John, that one's.
Yeah, I don't.
Hey,
that.
Woo! I don't know what to say on that one. That's just a wow.
All I'm gonna say is I hope they're parked away from each other in the pits.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, Verstraeten's able to move away. Connor Ross, he's loving it because it got him up to second. Walters is sitting there going, "Hey, I don't know what happened, but I'm in third." And Barker's hanging on that final transfer spot. Victory outside looking in. Now, Victory can get there to Barker, so it's still, you know, and up in the air for that 4th place spot. In the meantime, Verstraeten's just moving on, but Just a wild one. That's why we like these heat races. You just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's Vickery is closing in. I don't think he's going to get there enough time. But we talk so much about that 4th spot and punching your ticket. That 5th spot's really important too, because that's going to give you a really good starting spot in the B. And if you have to go to the B, which is always a crapshoot, at least you're up front. And I'd rather be up front than start in the B in 10th, 12th, 14th, and have to get up to the top 8 or whatever they take tonight.
With straightness there, Ross coming in second, Walter's going to hang on third, and Barker's going to hang on to that 4th and final transfer spot. But what a wild one here in this heat race, and that's just how it goes. Sometimes you're up there, and the next thing you know, boom, you're out and about. Just never know what's going to happen in this track, and that's why I always say it's kind of a unique place here without the walls and all. But that puts us down in Heat Race 4, Gambler Motorsports, an esports racing team, and they compete across the iRacing platform weekly with dirt cars, sports cars, asphalt, and they do the endurance style racing. So if you're looking for a great esports race team, check them out on Facebook, Gambler Motorsports, and they also do a little book club too. I kind of like that about them. So a little diversified as kind of getting together, being camaraderie, so to speak. Is we got Andrew Smith out front, Mike Cranmer there sitting in second, Tom Taylor in third. We got Ty Showblock, and he's going to be in the 4th place. Donald Dory in 5th, Gary Taylor in 6th, John Rayner in 7th, and Dylan Shreves. Is it Dylan Shreves?
Dylan, yep.
Dylan, okay. Dylan Shreves, excuse me, there in the last part. As again,
interesting enough, those are brothers or father son. That'd be another family that we have here in the league. So
we got other Shreves out here, don't we?
Yep, we got Randy. So we'll have to maybe send our crack pit reporters down there to try to figure out the relation.
Do some investigating for us out there. Yep. So, I want to appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Obviously, we got a good heads up, good running show here tonight for the hometowns heroes here for the Coast2Coast Racing League, and the 305s, which usually always kick us off here with the wing sprints. But after this, we've got the 360 wing sprints, and it's a special for the Steve King Foundation. And if you want to know more about the Steve King Foundation, they do have a website. John, what is that website that they have?
I would just look up Steve King Foundation, but you can also go to c2crl.com, and we connect to that, and also with our fundraiser coming up for Brody, and you can even get a T-shirt to commemorate
get your T-shirt,
it.
You can check out the information on how to get T-shirts and all on c2crl.com as we go, and we'll get more into that here in a little bit. But we green flag racing, heat race number 3 here. 4 tonight, as we got Smith out front, and Cranmer falls all the way back to the back. Smith is sitting in the second. Shreves there in already up to 3rd. He started back in the back and already in 3rd. Wow, what a power move.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the 70 there didn't get a great start and kind of stacked that whole outside up, and some guys are able to make a move. But the neat thing about this heat race, these are a lot of guys that we don't normally talk about up front in our features with Tom Taylor and Andrew Smith. And no disrespect to any of them, but here's a chance for them to have a really good night and get up there and mix it up and maybe bring home a victory.
And they are right now. It is definitely a good show. Tom Taylor is right in the middle. Never mind. Just talked too soon. Tom Taylor hit the wall, spun around. Hate that on his end. You got Shreves out front, Showblock there in second. You've got, though, a good battle happening for 3rd and 4th. Dory and Smith side by side throwing some sliders on each other.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Tom Taylor. Nothing more frustrating than somebody on the inside and their right rear gets a little big and causes you a little bit of a problem. But he's a good driver. He's got his work cut out for him. I won't be a bit surprised if he doesn't make it back up into the feature.
Confirmation, John. Randy said that is his son.
Oh. Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, right now he's looking good out front. He is leading this one. He's got a pretty good cushion here in this heat race right now to get himself into the show tonight. He's got Showblock right behind him. That guy loves to show off, and right now he's trying everything he can to maybe climb up on the back end and get that away from him. As you've got Smith in the 3rd, Dory sitting back there in the 4th place spot, but with the white flag one more time, the Showblock got what it takes to be able to put a slide job on him.
Boy, that run on the outside, that is just tough to defend. Look at that, 3-4 car lengths, by the end of the back stretch.
Yeah, it was. He fired off that top side. That's going to put him in victory lane for heat race number 4. Puts him in the show. Showblock 2nd, Smith in 3rd. Dory up in the 4th place spot. But what a run these guys are having here tonight. Now, B main?
Yeah, looks like a
Great.
B main.
Good deal. SBGC3D.com. I tell you, check out SBGC3D.com. Tom Taylor, and unfortunately just had a rough go in that last heat race, but he does some outstanding 3D printing since 2016. So check out his website. We're going to actually get to see some of his work and one of the ads here a little bit later, but definitely check him out. As we got Lance Ripka out front, Justin Stick sitting in second, Nicholas Victory third, Mike Cranmer in fourth, GJ Boydell fifth, Terry Landa sixth. We got McCarron up in seventh, Gary Taylor there in eighth, Jeffrey Kemper in ninth, Alex Sun 10th, John Rayner 11th, Tom Taylor in 12th, Brandon Templeton 13th, and Billy Richardson's going to round out the top 14 here. And probably should be, what, 8 go?
Yep, 8 go.
Right?
And yeah, and it's interesting here on the front row, and then inside the top 3 cars are all Spartan drivers. I know if I was driving tonight and I have my teammates around me like that, I'd be like, hey guys, we're in the show right now. Let's just get lined up and run away from these cats. That would be my plan.
And
anyway.
I'm with you on that. And now, again, sometimes it's really tough to say that. Now, I got to ask a question. Oh, wait, never mind. You're right. All Spartan guys.
Yeah.
I forgot you're a gambler. You look confused there, but you're right. I mean, when you've got that many guys that are teammates, they should. Now, you know and I know, though, competitiveness out there, and sometimes that can get the best of you.
Oh, yeah, and you want to beat your teammates most likely more than you do on your friends. But in this scenario about just moving on here, you want to just make sure you're moving on, and that's the big picture. And those guys are really smart over there. I expect them to see that, but I do expect them to race hard, though.
Absolutely. Green flag. Here we go, B main. Remember, the top 8 drivers go. As you see, they're already firing off the top. Let's go back here around the 8th place spots. You got Gary Taylor, because they are 3 and 2, almost 4 wide, as McCarron is now in the 8th place spot. It is swapping back and forth. GJ Boydell goes back and around. McCarron is around. That puts Alex Sun in the hot spot in the 8th place.
Yeah, and there's 2x2 from about 5th on back here, so that hot spot is around that 8th position. That's stressful to be in that spot and being in that, the hornet's nest. Oh, we got one into the wall.
Tom Taylor in the wall. Gary Taylor along with him. GJ Boydell is back there battling. Now Sun has a little bit of a cushion between him and the guys behind him in the 8th and the 9th place spot. In the meantime, you talk about those teammates. You got Ripka walking away with Sick right behind him. Victory, though, he's trying. Now, the only reason Victory probably is because he's got Landis right there tearing up his backtail tank.
Yeah, but, I'll tell you, when you're up front like that and you're around guys you can trust, I mean, Terry, he's got his teammate in front of him. Terry's behind him. Even though you're racing hard and there's a little bit of stress there, you at least feel somewhat good that you're not around guys that are going to do anything dumb.
Yeah.
And that, and that allows you to actually race a little harder, to be honest with you.
Oh, Victory got a little sideways there going to the top.
Yep. On one hand, it's stressful because those are good guys and you want to beat them. The other hand, it's a lot more fun because you can race. So it's kind of a double-edged sword being around those guys.
And then you got Kemper back there looking. He's not closing in too much as he sees that battle in front of him with Victory. As you see, Landis, he loves that low line. If he can get it working, he'll definitely stick it out and stay down there. Right now, he's been able to get it a little bit, just not getting that run off the top like you see Victory has been able to do. In the meantime, Ripka out front. Ripka's actually catching, I thought at one point he was catching some lap traffic.
Yeah, I know every time I've been passed by Terry on the inside, there's not a time it doesn't tick me off because I'm ripping the lip, keep the momentum up. I feel like it's really fast, not breaking a whole lot of speed. And I know how much you have to slow down to make that bottom work, and he makes it work. And you just know that he's basically stopping on the bottom and still driving around you. It's, like I said, it's all good fun. But, yeah, when he passes me down there, I'm always cussing a little bit.
8th place spot right here. Templeton, got 4 cars. Boy, it is the hot seat now. Remember, the top 8 go to the feature. Out of the turn, who's going to get it? Templeton's going to hang on to it. Boydell is the one that's out. And look at Alex Sun coming up in 7th there. So the newcomer here tonight making the show. But what an awesome show that was for our B main here tonight. That was not bad. I like that.
Yeah, a lot going on. tough to make these shows here. Nothing's a gimme in this league.
Well, we will be right back here in just a few, folks. We'll talk about a little bit of what's going on here tonight. Don't go anywhere.
Join in and help out Brody Sim, who was seriously injured in a sprint car accident this year. The fundraiser will feature 305 sprint cars and pro late models. Register now for one class for only $10 or both classes for $15 until August 15th. After August 15th, it'll be $15 for one and $20 for both. All drivers are guaranteed 2 to 4 races between August 17th and August 23rd. Don't miss the opportunity to help out Brody Sim in his road to recovery. 100% of the proceeds will go to Brody Sim through the Steve King Foundation. The Brody Sim Never Give Up fundraiser is presented by Can-Am Racing Team, Gambler Motorsports, Sim Seats, Maurer Farm Management, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, VMR Wraps, and PMD Wraps. For more information, check out www.c2crl.com. Help Brody Sim never give up and sign up today.
All right, folks, we're back here. Hope you enjoyed that little video there. Kind of a tribute to the Brody, and to kind of show you what's going to be coming for our Brody. Good charity race, and for him, as I never give up 22 on that. So, just to talk a little bit about what we got going on tonight with the Steve King Foundation one happening here tonight. I mean, obviously go to just look up Steve King Foundation on Facebook. And obviously go to c2crl.com to get all the information on there. Just to kind of let you know, they are a nonprofit organization, and you know they provide assistance to race car drivers, pit crews, race officials, track operation personnel, and immediate families of those that are involved and whatnot. So definitely, it's a great organization that they do. You know, Steve M. King, he's from Kansas, is the man who founded it, and so it's got a lot of great bio about who Stephen King is, what the foundation is. So I urge you to go out there and definitely check out all there is. And I also, we talk about the Brody charity event, Brody Sim charity event. My bad, it's coming up here. And definitely go check it out. You want to get one of those shirts. We got some great little shirts out there that you can go to c2crl.com and look into it. That is awesome. Definitely, all the proceeds will go to the Brody Sim's organization to help him out for his recovery. I am not 100% sure of what happened on that one. Obviously, the backstory on what happened to Brody Sims. Maybe if you go to c2crl.com, it'll let you know. I don't know if you know, John, maybe what he's dealing with. I'm not really sure.
This young man's story is remarkable. Not only did he beat cancer, he's going to beat. Hopefully, he'll beat the injuries that he had sustained in a wreck earlier this year. And it's unfortunate. He had signed up for the league actually to run with us just a couple days before his accident, and and partnering with the Steve King Foundation, and we're going to do a Steve King memorial tonight. And Steve, from all accounts, was a heck of a wheelman, an NCRA champion, sprint car champion. He tragically lost his life there at Knoxville. This being the Knoxville Nationals week. I was actually there in Knoxville for the 360 Nationals last week, and when I sat down in my seat, I looked over in the turn and actually thought about Steve there. What the partnerships we have and everything else there. Took a minute to think about that, and this is a remarkable foundation. They've helped a lot of drivers. You can get the we encourage everybody to go out and get T-shirts that commemorate this race coming up here in a couple weeks with Brody Sim. And you can also go right to the Steve King Foundation .org. And that's their website. Again, that's stevekingfoundation.org. And, they just help a lot of different things. You can go in there and look around. They've got a link to be able to donate to the Brody Sim. So even if you're not one of our drivers, that, will be part of the charity. If you're just somebody watching, either, go to our website, c2crl.com, grab yourself a t-shirt, make a small donation. If it's $1, $5, $100, every little bit counts to help this young man and move forward. And a great, I know I believe the people there that run that Steve King Foundation just do so much for so many, such a great organization. And we're lucky to have a partnership with them.
Absolutely, and like you said, I mean, it's an awesome stuff done. And many of charity style races, and love them because racing is just one of them big style families. No matter what it is, what you like, motorsports wise, these guys come out and enjoy it. So it's good to see he's fighting back. Like you say, for the battles. Hope he gets well and gets back out here and able to get to have some fun here on the iRacing thing. But tonight, obviously, with Steve King Foundation. That will be coming up here shortly right after this, but we got feature time here tonight, folks. That's right, the Cool Rays Coast to Coast Racing League feature tonight for the hometown heroes, the 305s. Brian Moore Sr. going to put it out front with Zach Chapman there starting beside of him. And, I've said it a couple times throughout the season. To me, Moore Sr., from last season's performance-wise to this season, it's like night and day. So either he loves this track, and it is definitely showing, or he's learning something on the dirt side of stuff as we're getting set to go green.
Yeah, here they are lined up, and turn one's got to be interesting. All those lanes are open now.
Yes, it is. And here we go. Green flag. They're already thinking about 4 wide for the lead, but you see it's not. Usually doesn't work out. Then somebody's going to get pushed back, which is Zach Chapman way back from the front all the way to 9th place, just like that.
Yeah, that's a tough break, but he's got time to get it together and work his way back forward.
Absolutely, because they are still battling 2 and 3 wide. You got Restraint up front, Moore Senior there, Shreves in the mix. Look at that, father son sitting 3rd and 4th. They're battling and hammering to the front side of it with Daniel Vaught. You've got Donovan Ross, Show Block and Company. I don't know where to go because it is still just stacked up all the way back.
Yeah, right now it's you take your pick where you want to look. We got one off the back a little bit in there in the back stretch.
Ooh, let's see. Might be Connor Ross. Might be Connor Ross. Okay. Well, he's back on the track now, but just like that, and I know you can get into trouble real quick here. Good about the middle of the pack, around about that 8th, 9th place spot. Oh, got a car around.
Zach went up and over the edge there, coming out of the corner.
He did. Well, his race started off bad. Let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened. We saw it a little bit in the corner, but yeah, he caught that top, and the next thing you know, just spun him around, got in the wall, then somebody else kind of just nowhere to go, clipped him.
Yeah, and Zach did a really smart thing there. As he came to a rest right below the start-finish line, he held his brake. He didn't try to gas it up, gas it up. He held that brake, and I cannot tell you what a big deal that is, because when guys, have the tendency, oh my gosh, I got in trouble, I got to get it righted, and they gas it up. And usually then you see them collect 2 or 3 other guys and make a bad situation worse. Very smart move. I know it sucks to go all the way to the back, but very, very smart move there, holding his brake.
Yeah, and like what you just said also, I mean, it's just his race started off bad. He was out front, just all of a sudden just got shot back to the back about 9th. So he was back there just trying to come through the field. Next thing you know, just one little middle mishap, we'll say, and right off the track, which can happen here so fast. We were talking about it earlier in one of the heat races, or that you get behind somebody, and that's what you want them to do. You want them to make a mistake here. They're going to run that high line, which is definitely easy to do.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, we've talked about this too. This track doesn't discriminate, your skill levels. I mean, if you've got a lower skill level and relatively new, it's a tough track to learn. It really is. But man, this thing will bite even your most skilled drivers that are in the field. It doesn't care.
That's it. like what you just said, doesn't matter about the skill gap as we're going to line them back up side by side. We had a good 2 and 3 or 4 wide battle up front. You got more senior Shreves, Dylan Shreves, that is. As Randy Shreves is right in 4th place for Straighten. Green flag. Moore gets a good jump this time out in the front of the field, but they are still stacked up 4 wide about the 3rd place spot. Here comes Showblock.
Oh, big wreck in the corner.
Big wreck, yeah. And no caution yet. Now we get to caution because Donald Dory. Let's originally go back. Justin Sick was the original one involved in that. Back here and see exactly what happened. You can see them back there, 2 and 3. Yeah, Sick went around, and then from there,
got a little help
just,
there from,
yeah, just pile up.
Yeah, got a little help from the 223 there, and as he come around, all of a sudden it basically clogs up that whole middle line. So all the guys that were committed to running, and you're on dirt. It is, it's not like asphalt where you can just tap the brakes and slow the car down. These cars just don't slow that quick, and it just bottled them all up.
That was our Malcolm Mills replay here. And Donald Dory, unfortunately, was one of them. He was way back in the back. He could see it coming.
Yeah, and the 223 didn't do anything wrong there. I mean, just Justin just got a teeny tiny bit loose, and you break just even a mile or two of momentum. The guy behind you, as close as they are on a restart, you can't see that and judge it, and you can just run into the back of them there.
All right, go back green, and more senior up front. Again, we got Dylan Shreves right there beside of him. So I'll tell you what, Dylan's showing up tonight here, but you've got Straightening and Randy Shreves there with him. See Moore gets a good jump on the field as the battle's on behind them, 2 and 3 wide. But here comes Straightening on the inside for the lead.
Yeah, 3 different lines there going into one. You had even now down here in 3 and 4, Moore in the middle, Shreves on top, and Straightening on the bottom.
There's just action all over the place, front, middle, back. You can just see it, like you said, down low, up top. And right here, we're watching on board with Showblock, and in front of him, I think that actually is, it might be Shreves in front of him. He caught that apron up on the top, the cushion, almost lost it, was able to hang on to it, though.
Yeah. Sometimes you get lucky like that, and you kind of feel like, hey, I probably should go buy a lottery ticket after you get out of the corner and get away with it.
Terry Landis around in the back, no caution, but just unfortunate for Landis. He is just not having a night, and he is actually off the track. Is he? I don't even know where he's at. Oh, okay, he's way down there, driving around in the grass.
Checking out the boats. I see him coming back up over.
See if he wants to buy one, and that car's just not cooperating with him.
No, it almost looks like he's got some damage.
I think he's going to the pits. Yep, that's where he's headed to. Yeah, folks, we're watching Terry here. It's unfortunate his tonight's just not what he wants. But back up front, Moore Senior still leading for Straightening second. Showblock there in third. But you've got Daniel Vaught and Dylan Shreves battling out. Randy Shreves.
The wall.
Yeah, he does. And that collects Randy Shreves, who goes sliding down on the front stretch into the wall, unfortunately. Wow, just like that. And just like you said, Showblock just caught that wall, and then, Shreves, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that really, as other drivers, makes you mad at iRacing. Showblock is going to get his spot back, and that's a big break for him because that caution didn't flaw. Yeah, he went from about 3rd back to 9th, and now he's going to get all those spots back, most of them anyway. And
that's the thing I kind of chuckle a little bit on the dirt side of things. I mean, I've said it many times. You got to get up there. He works his tail off, and he gets around the leader. And as soon as he gets around the leader, caution flies, and he's got to give it back. And he's sitting there going, really? It took me 10 laps to get around him. Now I got to go get battle back to get back around him.
And it's not even that, simple either, because usually if you're behind a guy and you're having to work him over for 4 or 5 laps, you finally show your hand and set him up. Well, the thing is, iRacing gives it back to him, and the next thing you know, that guy knows where you're going to try to get him. It happens a lot on restarts. You get a restart, and you might do something that the guy in front of you doesn't expect, and you grab that spot, and a few feet later down the track, the caution comes out. Well, that guy now knows your game plan, And man, I'm telling you, there's many a times I've wanted to write an ugly letter in the forums and say, you guys got to do something about this, but I've also benefited from it too. So.
And it's unique to dirt racing, folks. I mean, I'm a NASCAR guy, and obviously if a guy made a pass like that and a caution came out, he's not giving his spot back up. So it is a unique thing to dirt racing, and one of the major differences is dirt racing doesn't count the caution laps, so it reverts back, and as NASCAR does count the caution laps. As the green flag flies for Straighten, and Moore Sr. gets a good jump. Here comes Vault to the inside, though. He's going to put a slider, see if he can't take second. You got Dylan Shreves, who has done excellent all night long, still hanging on the fourth with Showblock in fifth.
Yeah, Dylan, for being one of his first times out here, is really doing a very good job. Being up here in the top 5 easily here, and he's battling with Vault, tooth and nail for that third spot.
Something we don't really talk a lot of is iRating, and I know a lot of people out there might not know what that is. A lot of drivers do. And the iRating is a system that iRacing uses. It is supposed to be how good you are as a driver, but that is subjective. Let's just say it that way. As we got a car off the road. Dylan Shreves, what? Darn, I was just talking about him.
Oh, man, that's a tough break.
I tell you what, seems like when in broadcasters things and you see it, he's basically the caution came out because he's got up under that cone. But, well, this will give us a time to finish what I was going to say is we really don't talk a lot about the iRating system. I can see iRating for every one of these drivers out here on my telemetry I have. And basically, like I said, it is supposed to be a measure of how good it is. And for the most part, it is. I mean, in order to get those high I ratings, you better be able to drive, okay? I mean, for the most part, we'll say 85%, 90%, because there is that percentage there that you
cherry picks.
You can't cheat the system a little bit. To a certain extent, you can cheat the system. But what I'm getting at is, we were talking about like Shreves there, and unfortunately, going off track, but that's just Lernerville. His is at well over 2,000, so that means he's been driving for quite a while to get that, and that's something that you can kind of judge, because you don't get those high ratings just by not driving. So you have
those I ratings are misleading for two reasons. I have, believe it or not, I only have a 1700 I rating, and that I haven't raced an official race in 2 years.
You've been racing in order to get that. It's because you don't start off with a 2,000.
Yeah, but if I'd race officials, I'd probably be in the 3,000-4,000s.
There you go. See?
The other aspect of that is if a guy is really good in a street stock, he can get a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 I rating in a street stock, come over here and be lost in a sprint car. So that's one of the big complaints I've seen across the board on the service is, the I rating should be car specific.
It should be. Now I'm with you on that one, because that's the same way with the road course racing.
Yep.
But what's funny? It is in NASCAR. It's well, license wise, it's kind of that way. But yeah, that's a different subject. But you're right. Actually, the iRate system it's across the board. I'm with you on that one. It should be the same as the license. As we go back green, interesting conversation. Maybe we'll talk about it later on as we get back here green for our feature here tonight. Moore Sr. still out front though, but straightening along with it. Vault, Showblock, let us know in the comments if you want us to give you more insight on what the I rating and license stuff is for iRacing, because it's not something we really talk a lot about. But nonetheless, good battle up front amongst all these guys, and somebody in the wall there.
Yeah, I got the right rear up in the wall there, about 4th, 5th spot. One of those guys up there might have been Showblock again, getting it, just being really aggressive.
Ooh, right there, Walters.
Ross.
Yeah, Walters, and then Ross paid the price for it going off the track. Luckily, he was able to get back on the track. Checkered flag out. Brian Moore Sr. is going to win it. Boy, I was so wrapped up what was going on back there in the back, didn't even realize we was on the white flag. Sorry about that. But Moore Sr. puts it in victory lane for Straighten in second, and Daniel Vault puts it up there. I mean, it was just so much action in this feature, and my hat's off with the amount of racing that they were doing too. Side by side slide jobs to keep the action going on the track. So my hat's off to a lot of these drivers here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of traffic, a lot of different lanes. All 3 lanes were working. So, like you like to say, it's like being out on the highway rush hour. You've got cars all over the place.
We'll see if we can't get a couple of these guys up here and get a word with them. Here we got Vault and And I'm just missing more seniors. We'll wait and see who comes up. We're in third place, man. Daniel Vaught, let's get a word with him.
Hey, Daniel, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, John, how's it going? I got a copy.
Hey, good to talk to you, man. A solid third place finish tonight. Looked pretty crazy out there. It looks like you could pick almost any lane and run it. Tell me about your night here.
Well, I made one bobble in the heat race, and that sent me from first to second, and that meant I started fifth. I feel pretty good. If I could have started on the pole there, if I'd have won my heat, I'd have been a little bit better, but hey, happens.
Yeah, tough break there in the heat for sure, but what a nice recovery up there. Nice job putting it up on the podium. Did you find anything maybe towards the end, or did you not get enough green flag laps? I mean, do you think you had anything maybe left in the tank to go after those leaders, or were you just had a third place car and you just brought it home third?
It probably takes them making a little bit of a mistake where they're running the middle to the high side and I'm running the extreme bottom like that. But, I had fun and I felt pretty good, and I'm not going to complain about a third place with that group of cars.
No, that's an excellent finish. Congratulations again. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Thank the league for putting this on, and Gambler Motorsports, and, just my whole family that lets me do this.
Hey, family is what it's all about here. Hey, my friend, great run tonight. Once again, that is Daniel Vaught, our third place finisher tonight.
Yeah, outstanding job, like I say, from Daniel. Pulling it up in third place is a hard charging, but this guy here, second place, Trent Verstraeten, coming home tonight in a good finish.
Hey, Trent, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, man, awesome runner-up position tonight. Well earned. I always think that you're one of the faster guys in the league, and I just think you also have some of the worst luck in the league, and not making light of it or anything, but I was glad to see you get a run that equals, I think, where you should be week in and week out there. Tell me a little bit about that. Hope that builds your confidence here.
Yeah, it does a lot, actually. Yeah, we've had some rough runs. Oh my God, can't talk today. But had some rough runs. I think I've only finished on the podium one other time this season so far, and somehow leading the points, so kind of mind-boggling to me. But just kind of knew more senior would be fast, and there was a few other guys that didn't really have the best nights that were fast. But just trying to find the line to run. I seemed to like that low line tonight a lot more than I could run the cushion. Cushion usually is where I like to be, but this week it just wasn't there for me. So just try to stick to the bottom and do the best I could, and Brian Moore Sr. held me off.
Hey, take the listeners into the car a little bit. You say you like running the top, and tonight you found the bottom. Just can you give us a couple of differences, what you do from a driver's standpoint, from making that bottom work to making that top work?
Yeah, I like to move the wing position. I usually like the car a little looser when I'm on the bottom. And just the only really big difference is really your throttle control on the bottom. If it stays tactically like how it was, you can stay on the throttle a little bit more. On the cushion, when it's all slick like that, you got to be really have like an egg almost under your throttle. You got to be really light with it.
Yes, sir. Hey, once again, congratulations on your third place finish. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to here?
Yeah, just my team, Wide Open Motorsports, our sponsor, BB7 Setups, Roger and everyone behind the scenes putting on the league, and Joe for broadcasting every week.
All right, I tell you what, like you just said right there, Verstraeten bringing it home in second place here tonight, and a good run for him. Well, this guy here, Moore Sr., putting it in victory lane here tonight. Brian, join the booth, got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, putting it in victory lane here, and I gotta ask, is this your first time putting it in victory lane for the Hometown Heroes?
It is. It is my first win. Man, I'm happy to finally get one. I've been on the podium a few times, but I just haven't been able to get that win. So,
well, and now I gotta ask this, because I tell John all the time, because it seems like from last season and Hometown Heroes of this season, you've improved drastically. Is it maybe because you enjoy this track, or maybe you feel like, hey, look, I'm just getting a lot better in the dirt car?
well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. But no, I think I don't know if it's the track or not. I never used to like this track. I couldn't run the top without taking it over the edge. And I've done that here. I started on the pole a few weeks ago, and I drove it into one so hard coming out of two, I drove right off the track. And I thought, what a rookie mistake. But So I tried real hard not to do that tonight, and it worked. So, yoo-hoo.
Hey, no doubt. Put you in victory lane. Look good out there. Had a definitely bad, fast machine. You got anybody you want to thank for the awesome win tonight?
Yeah, I do. Donovan, Jack, Greg, and Gary, my son, Morse Jr. And last time I talked to you, I forgot to thank you guys for putting this on and doing such a good job. This is really cool.
Well, I tell you what. Hey, we appreciate it as always, man. There you go. Winner tonight, Brian Moore Sr. putting it in victory lane. John, I tell you, what a night of racing it has been here so far. We got the 305s. Well, folks, don't go nowhere because we got the Steve King Foundation 360 race coming up. That's going to be an exciting one. So me and John will be right back here in a few.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool-Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
GeForce TV delivers the excitement of short track racing to places it has never seen before. With dynamic production elements and state-of-the-art technology, GeForce TV proves what the racing community already knew. Race fans are plentiful and they are hungry for excitement. Last year, GeForce TV streamed over 250,000 hours of intense racing action for fans all around the world. Nearly 750,000 fans viewed our streams and on-demand videos. By the end of the racing season, our subscriptions rose more than 400%. What does all this mean for you and your business? Motorsports marketing in Canada has never produced such amazing and measurable results. Cashing in on the benefit of motorsports marketing is easier than it's ever been. Work with a team, work with a speedway, work with a series, or join the excitement directly with us at GeForce TV. We are excited to see you all back at the races. But until then, see it all on GeForce TV. Subscribe today for free at GeForceTV.net.
All right, welcome back, folks. Now we've got the 360 wing sprints, and this is going to be a good cause here. Go check out C2CRL.com. This is the Steve King Foundation race, and I want to appreciate some of the family members out there that are maybe watching. And I definitely check out Steve King Foundation online on Facebook, and definitely look them up, or go to C2CRL.com and check out all the information, because there's a lot of information out there of who Steve King is or was, his life and the things that he did, and the foundation itself. So I gotta definitely appreciate the guys here, and as always, we're getting set to turn this thing over to the Pit Stop Podcast qualifying session. If you want good insights week in and week out of what's going on in the league of Coast to Coast Racing, check out the Pit Stop Podcast on Sundays there on the Coast to Coast Racing Network with Preston Cranmer and Roger Craig. Plus, they have some good interviews with drivers and sponsors and so forth, so definitely check them out. As right now, a little bit of practice going on. We've got a good field out here. Looks to be about 27 machines, maybe, give or take.
Yeah, machines, a couple are going to be going home at the end of the night, but I like to go back to, this being the Steve King Memorial Race, and I'd talk a little bit about Steve himself. Tragically, he was just 33 when he lost his life up there in Knoxville. And after his death, the Steve King Foundation, rose. And, we talk about how they help drivers and stuff like that. But, these guys, they help, pit crew members that are in need, and anybody just generally involved in racing. It is such a great foundation. And once again, we are privileged to be partnered with them. Coming up, we have our charity for Brody Sim. I encourage anybody out there, if you're not racing, but you still like to give in, just be part of the family and chip in. You can go to C2CRL.com, and there's a link there. You can also go to the SteveKingFoundation.org to find out more about the foundation and its different events that are coming up. I know there's a schedule of events. I believe I saw a cornhole tournament coming up, and so these folks do a lot of different things in a lot of different places to help a lot of different people. And tonight, is going to be a lot of fun. And you can, if you go to our website, that fundraiser we have coming up for Brody Sim, you can actually get these really cool T-shirts to commemorate it. And I encourage everybody to go out there, pick up a T-shirt. I ordered mine yesterday. So I can't wait to get mine, and hopefully it'll be in, and by the time I can wear it as my driver uniform when we race.
I need a 10X. They make those.
Yeah, I when I looked down, I tried to click for I was looking for the fat guy size, and it didn't say fat guy size, so I worry about it. And
yeah.
But the fun thing is, if it doesn't fit, I can always blame my wife for shrinking my laundry.
There you go. Yeah, hang it up on the wall. That'll be another.
Yep.
Hang it up on the wall. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a great event coming up. We'll be running the 360s, or not 360s, excuse me, 305s, and the pro late models to do it. So 2 good racing classes for these things. It'll be a nice event over a few days. Right now, if you're out there and you're a sim racer, you can get in both series for $15 now until August 15th, and then it'll go up to $20 or $10 for one series, 15 for two. Then it just goes up $5 for each of them after the 15th there.
Yeah.
So good cause. Go check it out. And like I said, even if you're not racing, you just want to be part of the family and give $5, give $1, give $100. Please do so. It all helps.
Absolutely. We got some great sponsors out there, and I know we got qualifying underway, so we're going to let John get to his qualifying session because he will be racing in this one here, folks. So we'll get to chime in with him from time to time if there's any cautions or whatnot going on. But just like what he was talking about with the Steve King Foundation here tonight, this memorial race, it's going to be a good one. These are the 360 wing sprints, hometown hero. Hey, let me know who your favorite drivers are out there. Again, we've got a good field. It's 27 machines, so a couple of them are going to go home. It's always the sad side of racing. We only take 24, so 3 drivers are going to have to pack it up and say, well, I did my best. But not to see. Let's say John's putting up a good quick time there on the 6th place, but Garrett Pepiot, wow, what a 13:56 quick time. Chapman now with a 13:61 is the closest to him. Let's see if anybody else can break up there and get a better time. But yeah, never mind. Garrett Pepiot better this time with a 13:49. Wow, that's a blistering pace. But there again, folks, let me say this. And Donovan Ross puts a good time with 13:52, 13:54. Randy Shreves, your top 3 good times. Now let me just say this. Just because Pepiot put down a lightning speed time, we've seen him many a times, guys who put on number 1 qualifier struggle when they come to the heats or in the B main, and we've even actually miss the feature race, and so that it's just dirt racing. It can happen as always. So definitely good run. John's going to put in 13th right now.
Yeah, I made a rookie mistake, and I had my wing back because I was practicing in the slick, and I forgot to pull it back forward, and that probably cost me a 10th or 2, but that's all right. We'll go to work and have some fun here with these boys and see what we got here for the
quick
the race
before
tonight.
we flip it over, is there any tricky spots you got to look out for on this track?
Yeah, it's the same as the 305s. It's just, they're going over the top, and the big thing is this traffic. Once we get into the features, the B and the A, when all 3 lanes become viable, this track can get kind of wide, but it gets tight when you get to being 3 wide. And the fact that all the lanes are viable, it's just an awareness. You've just got to hold a steady hand and have car control. That's going to be even more important in these, just because you're going to be carrying more speed into the corners.
Right.
So just going to be a tough race all around, and I think it'll be entertaining to watch, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, with the multiple grooves like we saw with the 305, now obviously you have way more powers getting set to go for our heat race 1 real quick, but with the multi-grooves here, and the more power, is that going to be helpful or is it going to hurt?
It'll be helpful in the heat races a little bit because you'll have a little bit more to go around, and in the feature, the guys that can manage their throttle, and you hear us refer to as throttle control, the guys that manage that better are going to come to the front. When it slicks off this power, it's real easy to spin these tires. It's real easy to kick your back out. You want to keep these cars pretty well straight, especially off a corner exit. If you don't do that, you're slowing down. And the guys that are just got that heavy left foot, which seems like, in racing, that's what you want, is to have a heavy left foot. you know, the guys that have that are going to struggle here once we get to the features. But here in the heat race, hammer down, man. Just hold it down.
Speaking of heat race, we got Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints, 37 years, 360 sprint car action from northeast to U.S. to Canada, and they got a lot of stars. Check them out on Facebook. And you talk about it, John's going to be starting 6 in this one here, so let him go to work out there in that cruiseshopfw.com machine. And meanwhile, Jeffrey Barker out front. Dylan Shreves, who is a newcomer, but he has definitely shown he can wheel one of these mastered wing sprints around the track tonight. Chapman's up 3rd, Pepiot there in 4th, Hines, like I say, starting 6th, Templeton 5th, Landa 7th, Sun up in the 8th, another newcomer, and JP, couldn't tell you how to do a Schrader, I probably messed his name up, we'll just say JP, starting in 9th places. Here we go, pace car, lights off, pace truck, he's going to drop off, Barker, Shreves, and company up front. Getting set, heat race 1, and go. We're racing. Lernerville style. You already see Shreves and company out front. Look at this. Parker's getting a good travel down low, but in the meantime, the high side's a place to be for the moment. Barker, he's falling all the way back. Remember, the top 4 the ones that go into the feature. As Hine is the man outside looking in for the moment, sitting in the 5th place spot. He's loving the battle in front of him, though, because if those two guys get into each other, he definitely scoops himself right into that features. And meanwhile, Sun off the pace in the back as it's still Chapman along with it. Here comes Hine. He is hammering that top side cushion, trying to get around Barker. Barker's down low. John's going to be able to take that top side, gets it to the 4th and final transfer spot. In the meantime, Dylan Shreves off the track, running 2nd place, and just like that, gone. Back here in 8th, going to have to go through the consolation. Pepiot still out front, walking away. You got Chapman in 2nd, Hine in 3rd, Barker sitting up into the 4th place spot. He is trying to tear up the tail tank, though, of Hine. He wants that 4th place spot back. He's seeing if he can't get close. Templeton's a little bit far off. Actually, excuse me, Barker is in the 4th place spot. My bad. Templeton's the one that would be on the outside looking in. But Barker, he's not content with the 4th place. He's wanting to see if he can't get back around and get 3rd place. But now he's kind of settled down just a little bit. As you see Pepiot still out front, just kind of walking away. He's almost got a 2nd lead, 3/4 of a second, about 9/10 on Chapman. Chapman's in 2nd, Hines in 3rd. White flag one more time. Pepiot, Chapman out of turn 4. Pepiot's got it. Chapman 2nd, Hine 3rd, and Barker in 4th. Heat race 2. It's going to put us up here to Icon Sim Sports. And folks, if you're looking for a good rig that's going to suit you, one of a kind, check out iconsimsports.com, and it'll definitely get you fixed up. As Nicholas Victory is going to start out front, Patrick Spangler there in 2nd. Brian Moore Sr. went into 305s earlier, starting in 3rd. Donovan Ross 4th. Mike Kremer in 5th. We got Preston Kremer, so his father-son duo in the 5th and 6th place spot. Nicholas Shell, hope I said it right, and Nathan Aldridge, which is he racing in this one? And Justin Sick in 9th. So Nathan's racing in this one, isn't he?
I believe so.
Okay. I know he was adminning in the last one, so looks like he is because he's out there on the track with him. So we got 9 cars, 4 drivers go to the feature automatically. Don, you was able to get in that feature. How'd the car feel?
Yeah, I usually drive these in an open setup with Monday and the Renegades, and boy, the difference between what we put in, what I want out of a car, and what iRacing gives me, and just 9-day difference. And I'm sure everybody out there experiences the same thing. And a little tough. These guys ran that race before, so they've already kind of got their timing, a little bit of bearings to come in cold like that. A little bit of a disadvantage, but looking forward now to this heat. I forgot who it was, but I saw somebody go for out of 2nd right over the top in our heat race. So again, that edge, you just got to be careful. And unlike the 305s, you're carrying more speed, easier to get up over that edge here.
That's it. So it takes them a little bit more time as we're getting set. Pace truck's off. Green flag's about to fly. Victory Spangler. All right there. Here we go. Heading off into turn one, they are almost four wide back around third place spot.
Yeah,
Who was that? Just shot the middle. That was Spangler. Wow.
Yeah, nice move. But Brian Moore is now in that transfer spot, and he was last race's winner, so he's got to move up to get a good starting spot here for this one.
He does. He's sitting in that fourth place. You saw Preston Cranmer right there just shove that thing down on the inside. He's got his hands full with Nathan Aldridge and Mike Cranmer back in the back. In the meantime, Moore Sr., though, he says, I want to get up here and get out of the way. He's battling with Nicholas Vickery for the third place, and then here comes Cranmer. He's on the back end, so wow, that's a lot of battling. Car just slams the wall in the back. That is Nicholas, I'm going to say Shell.
Yeah, that was a hard hit, too.
It was. Meantime, that fourth place spot. Oh, and Cranmer's gone.
That was even a harder hit.
Oh, wow. Somebody call him on the phone, make sure he's all right.
Someone needs to go over to his house with some smelling salts after that.
Woo.
Wow, that's a tough
Moore
hit.
Senior's loving it because it gives him a little breathing room from Aldridge, though. But man, that was a tough lick. And that's just how it happens here at Lernerville. Next thing you know, you just you're doing good, and then you're just over the top side of that cushion. You got Spangler out front in second, Ross. Vickery sitting in third, Moore Senior in fourth. Kind of spread out between the top four guys. You got Aldridge sitting in the fifth place. Mike Cranmer there in sixth, and Justin Sick, he's back there in the seventh. I think he's just trying to feel this car out.
Oh, yeah. It was the higher power, from the 360s to the 410s. I kind of went back there. And looked at Preston's deal. It looked like he had a hardware issue. He just
shot right on him real quick.
Yeah, it sure did.
That puts it. Spangler out, wins this one. Ross in second, Vickery third, Moore Senior there in fourth. That should put us up into our next heat race here tonight. Heat race number 3, Super Dirt Car Series, Northeast Premier Series for the Big Block Modifieds. They got a lot of great drivers from Florida to Canada. So definitely check out the Super Dirt Car Series as Andrew Smith out front, Connor Ross in second, Tom Taylor in third, Randy Shreves in fourth, GJ Boydell in fifth, Daniel Vault sixth, Ty Showblock in seventh, and Mark Nee round out the 8th place spots. We're getting set for heat race number 3. What's up, Joe? How you doing? Well, I did appreciate it, Joe, from Joe. Joe Holter out there, the Icon Sim Sport man himself.
Yeah, you got Tom Taylor there on the inside that second row, and Randy Shreves, who's going to be the quickest car in this field as far as qualifying goes. Tom's looking to recover. That was a tough 305 race for him. So you got Daniel Vaught, who just was on the podium in the last one, and you got Ty Skoblock there, and Connor Ross up front. And boy, this is going to be interesting. You got a mixture of aggressive guys, quick guys, and then everything in between here with this crew, so this will be fun.
Green, green, green.
All right, green flag. Three wide behind them. Boy, let me see who that is out front already, because he just took off. That's Connor Ross.
Yeah, Connor Ross. And then Randy Shreves made a great outside pass, going from fourth to second there, coming through turn 2 on that opening lap.
Heating up for that 4th place spot. Tom Taylor's got a lot of pressure by GJ Boydell.
Yeah, and you notice these guys are staying off that extreme cushion there. I mean, Connor's up there doing it, but for the most part, those guys are all laying down. I think that's just being conservative, the extra speed, and these cars are a little more of a handful up top there.
Absolutely. You got Tom Taylor there, GJ Boydell.
Connor's
the outside
over.
looks in. Oh, Connor Ross leading it just like that. He flirted with disaster, and it snuck out there and bit him.
Yeah, and that's the risk you run, running that high line like that. And, once I got into a transfer spot in my heat race, I had a little bit probably for Zach, but you just got to sometimes pull down and say, all right, I'm in the show, and then just get conservative.
Yeah, take a quote from Lane Snook. Lane said, I understand the top side's fast, but if I don't have to run it, I stay off of it.
Yep. Yeah, and Connor, he knows one speed, and he's just flat out fast, and there's nothing wrong with that. He doesn't make many mistakes, but, he does on occasion.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just one of those things. And that's why we call this place Lernerville. You learn from it. Hopefully, as G.J. Boydell now is in the fourth and final transfer spot. Daniel Vault's outside looking in, but a battle for third here. Well, third and second, you got Andrew Smith and Tom Taylor. Tom's kind of looking on that inside, seeing what he can do. Is a white flag. Final time, looks like Tom's, going to get it. What a run out of 4, wow. Shreves puts it in victory. Smith comes in third. Boydell hangs on to the fourth place spot.
Yeah, those heat races went by in a hurry for this class.
Okay.
Right,
C main? The
nope.
B?
Yep,
Okay.
just the B.
Went right into the B then. Okay. SBGC3D.com. That's Tom Taylor and company out there. And they do a lot of 3D printing since 2016. And we'll see some of that here soon, some of his work, as you got Brandon Templeton out front of this one. And with us only having 12 will go.
Yep, 12 out of the 14. So, I mean, not quite as much pressure, but a mistake, running the top line or just getting over aggressive or whatever can take you out of it. So, I mean, you don't have a free path to the A, but it's going to be a little bit easier than, if they're only taking the top 4 like we've seen in the past or the top 8.
Yeah. So right now, outside looking in would be Nicholas and Dylan Shreves. And we've seen Dylan all night long. There's definitely had a fast machine, so he's going to be looking to try to get in that top 12 to at least make it into the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Templeton out front, going to lead this one. 14 cars, 12 go to the feature.
Yeah, and right now is a real tough time, too, to be up on that top side. I'm looking over there as they go through 3 and 4, and that top groove, because so many guys are running lower, has had dirt thrown over where the cushion is. So it's going to be a little harder for those guys to see exactly where they need to put their car going in the corner. So that may come into a factor before the end of this little race here.
Joe out there says Brandon's going to race his way into the features. So he's in a good spot out front. Don't make no mistakes. That's probably the number one thing, because, I mean, he definitely, where he's sitting at, got a big-time cushion to make it into the features. We're getting set to go green flag. And it don't have too much of a cushion as Mark Nee, Preston Cranmer back in the back. As green flag flies, and you see Templeton gets a good jump on him. We'll go back here around about the 12th place spot, and already Preston Cranmer off the track. Not wanting to see that, but Dylan Shreves does, because he's up to 11th.
Yep, and now Preston's going to have to stand on it to make that gap back up, and hopefully somebody comes back to him.
Well, he's not done, though, because we've seen him many a times. These guys get up here, like right here in the middle of the pack with Justin Sick, Terry Landis and company. I mean, they're 2 and 3 wide. These guys could very much so get in trouble, knock themselves off the track, get in a wreck. I mean, because they are still hammering on each other around about the 5th on back spot.
Yes, they are. It's not going to take much for one of these guys to make a mistake.
3 wide right here, Justin Sick. And kind of like you just said, there's one. Who was that? That was, not sure who it was in the blue machine up there. He didn't lose too much position, but in the meantime, Preston Cranmer is closing in on the back end. Mike Cranmer is the man right now. The 12th place spot, never mind. Wow, Alex Sun around, and just like that, Cranmer gets one spot up, off. And JP, see, never give up. Just never give up.
And another one off.
Mike Cranmer. Oh, I know Preston probably didn't want to see that, but that puts Alex Sun, and it looks like our top 12 are out here because JP and Mike Cranmer are in the pits, and by just with that right there, they're probably going to go a lap down. Now,
those guys on the track aren't aware of that either, so they're going to keep racing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I mean. The next thing is it's still, even with that, anything can happen. As these guys can get up here racing hard, they can get up here and wreck, tear their car up, fall out of the race, and those guys get back up out on the track. never know, might be able to get it, but they've not come on the track yet, as you still see some beating and banging. Nathan Aldridge, Terry Landis and company right there, kind of bumping.
Yeah, it looked like Connor got a little loose there, and Terry got into the back of him. It's pretty easy to do, as it's just now starting to slick up pretty good.
White flag one more time. All Daniel Vault, man, out front in this one. Showblock sitting in second. He's got Templeton hanging on the third. Ross in the fourth, but I'm going to tell you, Alex, actually Nicholas Shell, who is blinking a little bit, is in that 12th place spot, but he's going to make the show nonetheless. It's a checker flag flies. Vault's going to put it in for the B main, and what an exciting one that one was. That's just kind of how it rolls back in the back. Which is in our warm-up. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Get a word from some of our sponsors here.
Join in and help out Brody Sim, who was seriously injured in a sprint car accident this year. The fundraiser will feature 305 sprint cars and pro late models. Register now for one class for only $10 or both classes for $15 until August 15th. After August 15th, it'll be $15 for one and $20 for both. All drivers are guaranteed 2 to 4 races between August 17th and August 23rd. Don't miss the opportunity to help out Brody Sim in his road to recovery. 100% of the proceeds will go to Brody Sim through the Steve King Foundation. The Brody Sim Never Give Up fundraiser is presented by Can-Am Racing Team, Gambler Motorsports, Sim Seats, Maurer Farm Management, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, VMR Wraps, and PMD Wraps. For more information, check out www.c2crl.com. Help Brody Sim never give up and sign up today.
All right, folks, we're back here. So I tell you what, it's been an awesome night tonight for the hometown heroes here for the Cool Rays Coast2Coast Racing League. And as always, now we've got the Steve King Foundation. Folks, go check out c2crl.com for all the information, and look up and check out the Steve King Foundation on Facebook for all the information about that and all the history of and what they do and what they offer. And you can definitely donate out there. And plus the Brody Smith charity we got coming up here. And definitely buy a shirt. Buy the shirt. All right, just buy the shirt. Okay, we'll just say it that way. Buy the shirt. All right. So go to c2crl.com and buy the shirt.
Yeah, it's a sharp
my promo
shirt
hit for you.
Yeah, and one of my sponsors, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Preston, he's the one that designed that T-shirt. It's a sharp shirt. Nice thing to wear to your local track. So I do recommend if you're listening here, go out and pick one up. Just go to, like you said, c2crl.com.
Just buy the shirt.
Yep, just buy the shirt. And that's a good way to make a donation. All the proceeds do go to the Brody Sim charity. So,
right, yep.
That's
another thing. Yeah, there you go. If you're like, well, I don't know if I want to make a donation or something. Well, buy a shirt. There the donation goes to it. So and obviously all the the entry fees of the drivers and stuff like that. So, awesome event. Like you said, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cool when we got here tonight. I mean, Steve King Foundation here, which is an outstanding foundation. It's unfortunate, Steve King losing his life on the track, but that's racing, and we've seen a lot of hardships in racing over the years. A lot of great things happen in racing too, and the many racers that have been lost on the track, they were doing something they enjoyed. I mean, it's always just a sad part of the sport that we had to deal with. It could happen to anybody, but like you said, it's good that he's got a foundation there that can give back to like you said, not only the drivers, but pit crews and families and so forth and so on throughout the racing community. A good one here, but I'll tell you what, after this one too here, John, we got a wild one. If you didn't tune in last season of Hometown Heroes and see the endurance street stock race, it's just mad chaos. It's an endurance. The word is in it there, and it's like Lernerville. It's an endurance race. You survive instead of race, basically. Is if you can survive it, you're almost going to either maybe end up winning. So it's going to be a fun one coming up. But here we go, feature time here tonight, as we got Garrett Pepiot. Will be the man out front on this one. Patrick Spangler there in second. Randy Shreves in third. Zach Chapman going to be the fourth. Donovan Ross in fifth. Tom Taylor there in sixth. Hines sitting up in seventh, Victory in eighth, Smith in ninth, and Barker rounds the top 10 as we're going to have it looks to be. We've got 24 machines out here going to do battle here tonight.
Again, we're going to do a couple things different here for this race. So first of all, it's going to be a 50 lap feature, which is more than what we normally do. And we're also going to do a four-wide salute to Steve. And like I said, Steve himself tragically lost his life on August 9th. So we're right at the anniversary of when he lost his life. And we're going to do a salute for him. Like I said, he was a real wheelman, several NCRA victories, NCRA champion. I know his sister, I believe, is watching here tonight, so we send our best to her. And we honor Steve here with what we're about to do here. And his foundation, like I said, is just remarkable.
If you've never went to a dirt car feature, most of the times the World of Outlaws, I think most of the dirt places do. They call it a four wide. Normally the four wide is a salute to the fans, but tonight, like I say, we're saluting it out to the Steve King and his Steve King Foundation. And what you're going to see is it is a remarkable sight to see with all four of these cars lined up, just 4x4x4x4 all the way back. So get ready, get set. That's going to be a cool one here in just a second. And just like John said, 50 laps, I think what's going to happen is it's going to go green on the 50 laps. So it might actually just really be 45 or 40 lap race.
Yeah,
I think they put those extra laps in so that they can do the green, white.
But it's still going to be a lot longer than what our normal ones are here. The green flag here, we'll hold our spot, and here we'll.
Awesome sight. If you've never seen it, definitely. I mean, I would, folks. I mean, look it up on online if you can't get out to a real race or something. But this one here, it is. Like I say, normally they salute it to the fans, but this is for the Steve King here tonight and the foundation that he has. Obviously, to all his family members and the ones out there watching, we appreciate it. So, four wide, these guys are going to fly around here for just a little bit at a pace. It's just an awesome show of respect, and just to show that it looks cool too, John.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm down along the inside, being in the middle, four wide here. Sometimes these cars have a mind of their own, but like I said, honor a great race car driver, and we've the silver lining coming out of such a tragedy with this foundation and everything else. So I'm honored to be on the track. I know all the other guys are too. This is a really cool thing, and as a league, our partnership with the Steve King Foundation has been second to none, and we've been able to do a lot of good things, raise a lot of money for different drivers and different causes through them. So this is a really special moment here.
Absolutely. So, like you say, definitely four wide salute here for the Steve King Foundation and Steve King himself out there. It's an awesome sight to see when you see all these the motors come together. Drivers out there do a couple laps. Now they'll form back into line. Give them about a lap or two here, and they'll all get them set back up, and we'll get set to go green flag racing here tonight. Our feature time here, so I hope you enjoyed that. Hey, if you're you're out there, hit those likes and shares. We're live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network on YouTube and also our network on Facebook. As always, I know the league would definitely appreciate it. Hit those follow buttons as here we go, lining them back up 2 by 2. Pepiot, Spangler, Shreves up front, getting set to go. Green flag racing here. Going to be a little bit different as there's going to be no pace truck out there we're used to seeing. So they got them lined up right now. They come out of 4. They'll give them a little bit. Sometimes the guys go. Sometimes they get a little bit checked up on the start. We'll just have to see how this one is because there's no green and go. Pretty much the admins are going to say go, and they do. Green flag, we're racing here tonight. Lernerville, and you see Pepe get a good jump out front, but here comes Spangler to the inside. Hines going to try to see if he can't dive down also, but in the meantime, 3rd place, Donovan Ross, Randy Shreves, they're going at it side by side with that one. As Chapman, who has had a wild night tonight already, he is there in the 5th place spot, seeing if he can hang on. Looking good. He's got John Hine right on the high side, trying to see if he can't put a slide job. You go a little further back and look at this mess around 10th place spot. They are 3 wide. That's Vickery, Vaught, Moore Sr. Terry Landis is around. Let's go on the Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened to him. And I got a feeling he is up higher than what he normally is. He's usually down low. Oh, car in front of him just got a little sideways. He had nowhere to go. Just kind of one of those wrong place, wrong time type of deals. But meantime, Pepe out front. How's that start, John?
Nerve-wracking as usual. Track's slicked off a little bit here, and my guys are, part of the thing that makes this tough here on the starts are, you got some guys that prefer the bottom, some guys that want the top, and that may not be the lane you're starting in. So you're trying to get to where you're comfortable on the track, which means you have to change lanes. So when you get, 20 some odd cars on different agendas, wanting different lanes, it gets just pretty gnarly pretty quick trying to figure out who's going where and whatnot. So, but sitting here P5, that means we moved up 2 from the beginning. So, just keep moving forward here and see how the rest of the night goes. And hopefully, we continue to put on a good show.
It is. So you got Pepe out front. He put it on pole here tonight. So, I was talking earlier, sometimes that doesn't work out that way. Sometimes the pole sitter, we've seen him not make the show. We've seen him had some bad nights, but luckily he is out front with Spangler sitting in 2nd. Looks like we might go single file on this start.
Oh, we're going double.
Okay,
wow.
So wow. Out there for a minute was going single, but like you said, then it just all of a sudden switched over to a double file. But here we go.
Yeah. Now I regret letting Zach. As I say, now I regret letting Zach get around me with that top side's where I prefer. So again, now it's right back to what I said. Guys might not be in the lane they want to be in. So, look for guys trying to cross lanes and trouble there.
We'll have to see. Getting set. Pace trucks in. Pepe at Spangler. Shreves up front. Green flag flies. Everybody's going to try to get what they can get. As you see, Pepe gets a good jump out front. Boy, Shreves rides down the inside. Hines going to throw that boat machine down there hard. Trying to see if he can't get up to the top side. He falls back to the 5th. Here comes Donovan Ross, though, still trucking it on that top side in the cushion. Him and Hines going to battle it. But you're going to see John's going to be able to take that 5th place spot up top. Meantime, you got Andrew Smith, Zach Chapman, Showblock, and Brian Moore Sr. upside down in the back. Oh, the 305 winner here. Let's see what happened to him on the Malcolm Mills replay. Back in the middle, just that huge pack of cars. He's down low for the moment. See if he had a little help or, he got in the grass, upset the car a little bit. Then he went 4 wide. And looks like him and another guy just kind of got tire tangled. And there's a car on his inside, drove it in there, and next thing you know, he's upside down, looking at the wrong way. Just wild turn of events right there. All right, you're in the spot you need to be?
No, I'd like to be about 4 more further forward, but what you described there, I mean, again, just if you're back there in the hornet's nest and, you've got a couple of lanes here to work with, the middle does not seem to be here at the time, so it's going to be top or bottom, it looks like.
You think it's going to come in?
It's already slicked over, so I don't know. I wouldn't count on it.
So it might end up being, one groove tracks? Maybe just a top side, middle top side?
Well, it might be a two-group chop, the bottom and the top. There's still a lot of tack there on the bottom.
Okay.
So and there's some guys, your Terry Landises of the world that there's enough down there. Those guys are going to make it work, and I expect them to be up here.
All right, I'll tell you what. Here we go. Pepe out front. He's been able to get those shotguns here all night long with Ross, Spangler, Shreves, Hine, all the top 5. Smith there in second, or up in 6. I'll get it right in a minute. Chapman there in 7th. It looks like Showblock's in 8th, Ross in 9th, and Victory rounds the top 10. As unfortunately more senior in the pits, definitely winning his first race here in the Hometown Heroes on the 305s. I've said he's done a lot, but his 360s just jumped out here and bit him tonight. Unfortunate, happens to the best of them. So getting set to go back green. Pepe out front, Spangler along with him, and green flag flies. Boy, Pepe gets those good jumps, but Spangler's there with him along with Connor Ross, Randy Shreves and company. Look at John Hine throwing it down on the bottom side, but he's got Chapman tearing up his back tail tank. Meanwhile, in the front, he sees that battle happening with Ross and Shreves, and Chapman just will not give up on Hine. Hine's going to that low end. Oh, and he get a little love tap to the back end of Shreves. He was able to hang on to it. Good racing there. Heads up by the 2 drivers. Hines staying 6th. Chapman's going to try to drive it down low. Right behind him, though, you got Connor Ross. Car around. Tom Taylor. And caution is out. Let's go back. The Malcolm Mills replay here. See what happened. We saw it kind of the corner of our eye. Him going around. But let's go back on the replay and just kind of see what might have happened. Oh, he just kind of went in there and got the side of someone, and he was the one that paid the price on it. Car just went around. He was able to get it going back straight, but good run. Well, I'll tell you what, you and Chapman's got a good battle going on there, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, and I got a little bit into Shreves there. I just misjudged how he was going to take the corner, and that shows you how tight it is here.
Some? Did that hurt your momentum a little bit?
Oh, it killed my momentum because I made sure I didn't turn Randy there. If I would have kept my momentum going, he would have went around for sure.
Okay.
And, we're on lap 20. We're not even halfway into this. We don't need to be turning guys in the top 5 here to. We'll go back at it again here and try to earn our way around them.
That right.
Yeah, that'd be about right.
Yeah.
But it's I can't imagine what it's like through the field because usually the top 3, 4, 5 guys string out in most races we see, but it's side by side and not much room, and man, I can't imagine what it's like through the field. Those guys
a lot of racing in that back there.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah. What we're seeing is just a good racing throughout the field. Really, the only guy that actually is not feeling much of any pressure is Pepe because he gets those jumps out there in the front. So he's leaving. Spangler might be. I haven't seen anybody get near him, but you get that 3rd on back spot, and it's just anybody's ball game because it's 2 and 3 wide at some point. And like you just said, way back there in the back of the packs, pace trucks jumping off. Pepe at Spangler and company out front. Here we go. Feature time tonight. Steve King Foundation Memorial Race here. 360 wing sprints. Pepe gets another good jump. It is 3 wide around 5th place spot again. You got Ross, Shreves, Hine, Chapman, Showblock, all those guys trying to battle for the same spot. And here comes Justin Sick, and they are back there beating and banging car around Nathan Aldridge. And that should bring a caution out because he went all the way around. We saw it kind of corner of our eye. We saw right there Brian Moore Sr. before that. Like he went off the track, and then I'm not sure who got into the car in front of Nathan, but Nathan was just kind of a product of, whoops, wrong place, wrong time. This puts us under caution here tonight. Whew. Getting a little sketchy out there, ain't it, John?
Yeah, it is, and then once again, it's just really tight here. You check up a little bit, you lose momentum, and I'm sure it gets worse as back through the pack. Someone steps up, and it can have the accordion effect for 4 or 5 cars back there. So tough sledding. The track is really difficult right now. Like I said, that middle, it's gone. So and it does not look to be coming back anytime soon.
You're getting close to that middle of the pack there. So, is that kind of worrying a little bit?
A little bit here. I'm gonna have to step it up here. I've been cutting guys' brakes and whatnot, and maybe be a little more aggressive here to not lose any more spots. So I mean,
you get that boat, man, wound up.
Yeah, but like I've heard you say more than one time, I gotta be careful not to poke a hole in the boat. So
there you go. Yeah, absolutely. Don't want to sink that thing like Titanic out there, get in trouble. But hey, good luck out there. You're sitting in 7th. Right now we got Pepiot out front with Spangler. Those two guys, well, I mean, if anybody's loving the cautions, they probably are, especially Pepiot, because he gets that good jump on the field. And 9 times out of 10, usually the leader does. Unless he's just got probably like a 5-second lead over the field, or a huge lead over the field, we'll say that way. Usually they don't mind the cautions too much because they get to control the starts and get to control when to go. And usually they get out of trouble, but I know they don't want to give up those big, huge leads if they've got something out there. So, I'm not sure who that is. Was trying to get a lap back, but and get it in time.
Sending him to the back, so hopefully we get to go green here.
Yeah, it's because the lights were off and the green flag flies. Pepiot, Spangler out front. Here we go. They'll do the slow march around turn 3 and 4, and boy, you see Pepiot just hammer down and take off. Well, Spangler, though, he's got Ross on his back end. Here comes Spangler to the inside. He's not going to give any fresh air to Pepiot up front this time, but we'll just see that high lane just got that momentum coming off. Ross was able to take over second place from Spangler. Meantime, though, back in a 6th and 7th place spot, you got Showblock, Ross, Shreves, Hine. They are all 2 and 3 wide back here. You got them in the middle, low and a high, up there on that top side cushion. In front of them, you got Connor Ross battling with it. You've got Chapman in the mix, Randy Shreves in the mix, Justin 6 back here. This is where the hot spot's happening right now, about 7th, 8th, and 9th place spot. Oh, John Hine got up into the, who that was, I think Nicholas Vickery. I'm going to tell you what, good save by Vickery. That could have been disastrous. He actually was almost over the cushion, but came back on the track and was able to hold on to it and actually hold his spots as he's still holding on to 10th place. He's right there behind him with Justin Sick, Randy Shreves, Hine and company. That's where you got a lot of great racing going on. Let's see, Vickery might be the man right behind. Yeah, he's right behind old Hine, so he's going to be lurking and go, all right, now look, I remember what happened last time. We'll have to see if he can shotgun right by him. Vickery's up top, Hine's up top. Looks like the high lane's the place to be on that cushion. Oh, Vickery got the wall just a little bit coming, and then he gets locked up tire-wise with another car. They didn't spin. I think Terry Landis did, though, in the back. No caution. We're able to keep going. Let's see where Terry Landis is. He's off the track. If he's going to be able to get back on the track without kicking the cone. Going to ride around. And he should be able to get right back on. He should see that he can get on now. There you go. He got back on. Good deal. Let's go back up here around about this 4th and 5th place spot. In the meantime, Garrett Pepiot out front. Spangler holding on to 2nd place spot. It's kind of a single file run. As you can see, those top 2 have walked away from Connor Ross. They got almost a 3-second lead over the 3rd place man of Connor Ross. Showblock right behind him. So those 2 are kind of running dead heat even with Donovan Ross in 5th. John Hine hanging on to 6th. And this is where, if you're the leader, you're going to go, now I don't want to caution because I've got such a big lead. I'm out front running my own race out here. Yeah, I've got Spangler on my back end who could do anything at any time. But this is kind of where it is. Look at John going to throw a slide job. Beautiful move down to the inside of Donovan Ross. Never mind crisscross. Ross said, yours look good. Mine looks a little bit better. Is he going to be able to make it complete? Nope. Yep. Maybe. If he moves up the track, he was going to be able to make it complete, but he actually held down low, and that allowed Hine to still motor on by him on the top side. So not sure what Ross was doing on that deal. Maybe he thought he still had all that momentum hanging on down low, but man, he just gave up a ton of track position on that one. He's still trying that low line, which definitely you got to do something. Maybe that low end will come in later on as we getting done. Down to about 20 to go here. If I can read that right, looks about 20 to go. Hine still hanging on to 5th. Meanwhile, lap traffic, Pepiot has moved away. He's almost got a 2nd lead over Spangler, but he is in heavy lap traffic, and that is the one thing that it seems like we don't get to talk about a lot, but it happens when you talk about short track racing in any motorsport that is. After a while on a long green flag run, which we're on right now, at some point that leader's going to catch lap traffic, and when he does on a short track, it's danger at every corner because he just does not get out of lap traffic from that point, and you can see it. Good thing is, though, we got a lot of good sportsmanship here in the league. These guys will move down out of the way. They'll see the leader coming in a relative, unless they maybe he just catch him at the wrong time with them battling. And you see an Spangler off the track just like that. Was in second, caution out, and I know now Pepiot's going, you got to be kidding me. I had like a 9 million lead. Here, let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened. Spangler was closing and then just lost it, jumped over the cushion. And we've seen that a multitude of times here as Pepiot has to stop and wait for the pace truck who come flying around the track. Sometimes it's slow, and sometimes the pace truck's got afterburners on it. You never know, but that was a pretty good run there, John.
Yeah, I feel really bad. I don't know who it was I made contact with coming out of 2, and I might have pushed him a little bit wide there.
Hey, he held on to it, though. It was a good save, or it could have been disastrous.
I don't want to get in a nick. That guy always runs me extremely clean, so I feel bad about that.
Yeah, well, shame on you, but still look good,
shame
though.
on me.
It was a good driving job by him. Got to give him credit, though.
Yeah, and now, oh man, I'm gonna be stuck on the inside here. But that top is that's getting treacherous now. That's a very thin lip up there. So I think these last couple laps here are gonna be really interesting.
Well, like what I was saying, we had a good long green flag run. Pepiot had a huge lead on the field. He is showing some great dominance out front tonight. Ross now in second, Showblock up in the third. Spangler still in fourth, so he's still got a shot to get that podium if he can. You see Pepiot gets another good jump out front. He opts to go down low for some reason. So Pepiot, now he fires it back up high. Maybe he was seeing what you were talking about there on that high side. Here comes John down low. He's going to see if he can't get Donovan Ross and company for that fifth and fourth place spot. Meanwhile, third place under pressure. Donovan Ross is there. Spangler's around along with Tom Taylor in the back. But Patrick Spangler just falls. White flag, won't matter at this point. Pepiot out front leading it. Huge light. Let's go to the third place because that's where it's hot and heavy. Showblock, Ross. Ross is going to have 2 more turns. Is he going to be able to get it done? No, he's not. He falls off the track. He's done. Hine moves up into fourth, but Showblock comes home in third. Connor Ross in second. Garrett Pepiot is going to win it here for the Steve King Foundation Memorial 360 Wing Sprint Race. What a huge, huge run that was for all these guys out here. Hats off to them. And I definitely got to give them there. They had a huge, long green flag run with these guys. So let's see if we can't get a few of them up here and get a word with them and see who we got. We got Pepiot and we get Ross. And then we gotta get Showblock. I think he has to jump into the whatchamacallit. I don't think he comes into whatchamacallit. Oh, we don't hear we get to talk with the second place driver. You want to talk to him, John?
Yeah, I think I've caught my breath long enough.
There's Donovan Ross, but that's not Showblock. There's Showblock. Okay, we'll bring up Showblock here and we'll get a word with him. He's third place man.
Hey Ty, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey bud, long race here. You made it up to the podium spot. Congratulations. How was your race?
Well, qualifying didn't go well, and heat race also did not go well. I just could not get a feel for the car at all. Ended up moving the wing a few more back than what I'd normally like to run, and then the car felt a lot better and just got better from there.
It was kind of sketchy up front there for a little bit, especially on those restarts. Did you find anything on the restarts that allowed you to? Because I was up there and I saw you kind of make some hay on those restarts. You want to share any secrets on what you were doing to get such great starts there?
I guess I was just getting kind of lucky. I don't know. Maybe some of the other guys were getting bunched up, but I just like to go to the top side to try to carry momentum. I mean, I like to run the top side anyways, but it especially helps out on this track to carry momentum for one lap.
Yeah, it really does. And again, just an outstanding race. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My little sister upstairs and my family are watching. She wanted a shout out, so I had to do that for her. That's about it. Thank you guys for running this.
Hey, thank you for taking part and being part of the league, my friend. That is Ty Schoblock. I hope I pronounced your name right, with the third place finish tonight.
Yeah, I call him show block. I don't know. So, hey, I'm with you on that one. But a good run, like you said, nonetheless, coming home in third. This man here, though, Connor Ross, bringing it home in second tonight. Good fire back for him.
Hey, Connor, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do, John.
Well, one short, but good night anyway, man. Tell me how your night went, actually, because I think you kind of had a little bit of problems in the heat race, didn't you?
Yeah, I was pushing it a bit too much on the high side there, and I definitely jumped the cushion there and really put myself in a big hole, to say the least, especially in a big race like tonight.
Yeah, you did, but it was a very nice recovery. What was your mindset at the start of that feature? Because you had some work to do to get up there.
Yeah, I definitely did. At first, I was just following Daniel Vaught, and we were moving up through the field pretty good, and then on a restart, I knew that's where I was going to make up my positions, was on the top. So that's where I kind of went, and I kind of set sail and tried to navigate my way through the field.
Well, you did a fantastic job. Anybody you want to give a shout out to here for your runner-up?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Pesky Penguin Treats, Ace One Construction, Burger Barn, Petro Plus Gas Station, Retail Design Group, Kingpin Farms. Got to thank Young Gun Creations. Got to thank all the Gambler guys, John Hine, Aiden Young, Zach Chapman, Daniel Vaught, and Steven Spees. And you guys for putting out the race on, and the Steve King Foundation.
Yes, great run again, Connor. Just a fantastic job all around. Nice recovery. That's Connor Ross, our second place finisher tonight.
Yeah, it is. Coming home second place, like you said, and a good recovery on his end. But this guy just dominating performance tonight. Garrett Pepia. Garrett, Joy in the booth, got a copy?
Sure do.
Well, I tell you what, you put it on pole early on for qualifying, set an outstanding quick time lap, but then throughout the night, and when you got out front, there was just no holding you back. Go through and tell us how that car was feeling, because it was on rails.
Yeah, me and the car were meshing really well, and I can't say much anything else about it. It was me and the car just were on the same page all night long.
Yeah, I gotta ask, was you a little worried with Spangler there a couple times in that lap traffic when you got out front in that big lead?
Yeah, I've been contemplating changing my line, but I was running so well on the high side that I was content until I had someone challenge me, and he unfortunately fell off the track, and I decided it was time to move down and try the bottom in 1 and 2, and it worked out. So yeah, I was got my heart going, but in the end we pulled it out.
Like you said, you pulled it out here tonight for the Steve King Foundation Memorial Race and the 360 Wing Sprints, Coast2Coast Racing League. You got anybody you want to thank for an awesome win?
Yeah, I won this for the Steve King Foundation. I didn't personally know him, but he's part of the racing community, so we all got to band together and support this foundation. I want to thank Ford Entertainment Group for putting me in my PC to compete with these guys. Ross Carenta, Velocity Race Designs for painting my cars. Roger for putting on this league. You for streaming this so the fans can watch and enjoy the show that we can put on.
I'll tell you what, there you go. Dominating performance tonight. Garrett Pepia putting it out front in a win. And, well, John, we're going to head off here, but we'll be right back, folks, because we got some endurance racing and some wild action about to happen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here in a few.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool-Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
GeForce TV delivers the excitement of short track racing to places it has never seen before. With dynamic production elements and state-of-the-art technology, GeForce TV proves what the racing community already knew. Race fans are plentiful and they are hungry for excitement. Last year, GeForce TV streamed over 250,000 hours of intense racing action for fans all around the world. Nearly 750,000 fans viewed our streams and on-demand videos. By the end of the racing season, our subscriptions rose more than 400%. What does all this mean for you and your business? Motorsports marketing in Canada has never produced such amazing and measurable results. Cashing in on the benefit of motorsports marketing is easier than it's ever been. Work with a team, work with a speedway, work with a series, or join the excitement directly with us at GeForce TV. We are excited to see you all back at the races. But until then, see it all on GeForce TV. Subscribe today for free at GeForceTV.net.
All right, folks, welcome back. And I tell you now, we've had a great night here at the Hometown Heroes. We had the 305s earlier. We had the Steve King Foundation at Memorial Race with the 360 wing sprints. Now, street stocks. And if you're not familiar with the street stock, basically it's kind of like a full-bodied stock car on dirt, and you can see it right there on the screen. So definitely a lot heavier, a lot slower, a lot more of a bigger car than what the wing sprints are. But what makes this race so special? 75 laps, no cautions, pretty much anything goes. Problem is you only have a 25 incident limit. So when I say anything goes, it is an endurance style race. So first and foremost, you can't just, yes, you can go out there and run a guy off the track if you want to. That's if you want to. Remember, you're going to take incident damage, and what that is, I'll explain a little bit, is anytime you run off the track, hit somebody, or hit the wall, you get what they call a 1-time, 2-time, 4-time, 8-time, sometimes even more times. It's an incident number that iRacing gives you. Well, 25 is the limit. Once you get that 25, guess what? You automatically DNF from the race. So you'll just see some guys just disappear. If you did not catch the last season of the endurance race, it was wild. Now I think they have unlimited fast fixes also, right, John?
I believe so. And the incident level, I thought it was 25 too. I just looked. It's 20, so that's going to mean that these drivers have to pick their spots.
Yes.
It's kind of like for you guys that are IndyCar fans, think of that push to pass. You don't want to burn your whole push to pass the first 10 laps of the race and get to the front. You want to save that push to the pass. If you're running in second, need to catch that leader with 10 to go. So you might take some liberties the first couple of them, but then after that you need to keep them in the bank.
And you can keep up with that. It's going to be interesting as we go. It's only going to be qualifying, and then we're going to go straight into the race. So we got qualifying out here.
Oh wow! It's open qualifying at that. So
so it's going to be a wild one there. So we're just going to sit here and we're basically going to watch the qualifying pit stop podcast qualifying that is. But just give a little info if you didn't watch the last one, last season. In the Hometown Heroes, it was interesting because I think we ended up with we had some cars that at the beginning of the race went 3 and 4 laps down, but by the attrition of how the race went on, they ended up back on the lead lap and finishing well. And I forgot who won the race, but it was just a wild affair. We're going to try to keep up with all the action because you're going to see leaders change. You're going to see, pretty much don't mind the ticker up there, folks, because that thing's going to go crazy with all the changing going on, because you're going to see guys going into pits, coming out of the pits, guys going a lap down, not a lap down, guys going really slow on the track, going really fast on the track. So going to be a wild one.
Yeah, and right now they're qualifying and being open. They usually we do like a 1 or a 2 lap qualifying. Right now, these guys are out there racing. They got 5 minutes to bust the best lap they can. So they got 5 minutes. So you can turn 5, 6, 7, 8 qualifying laps, get good, bites at the apple here. And currently, it's an all Spartan top 2 there. Tom Taylor and Nick Vickery. It still stays Spartan as now Andrew Smith pulls up into that second spot.
It's going to be a wild one. Right now, they're kind of being careful, but I'm telling you, folks, it's like what John was saying a little bit earlier when we were talking. We see the 101 machine there, Mark King go off the track. We'll see that several times. But like what John said, it's just a kind of race here to where if you want to let your aggressions out on a certain driver, here you go. Not that we advocate that or anything, but this is the kind of race to where you're probably going to see that because it's legal to run a guy over. All right, anything goes. But again, we go back to that incident limit. You got to be careful. You don't want to take yourself out of the race. But John, like you said, here is your chance. If you want to send a guy out there into the fishing lane down there off the track, you can.
Yeah, and you know, and I don't think anybody in this league will purposely take another. I mean, just outright wreck them until maybe like the end, trying to get a spot.
Why not? It's one of them races you do that in.
But here's what the deal is: if you get up behind somebody that might have ticked you off last race or something, you don't give them an ounce, not an inch. You let those guys, you know, if you push them high, you push them high, you push them in the wall. Those are the little things you can do because
there's
you know,
no,
like you
there's,
said,
there's going to be no what's the
big thing is you don't want to intentionally, because if you intentionally hit somebody hard enough and damage your own car, that's a problem for you.
But that's what I'm saying. So you got to be a fine line by doing it. You got to make it look. You got to make it look. Look smooth doing it. There we go.
Well, you have to be smooth doing it. You just can't, you know, go into a corner, hold it wide open.
Protest. That's what the word I was looking for. Yeah, you don't see any protests after this race because basically this is a race that is built for endurance and it is built for well, it's fun. I mean, and these guys know that coming on the track. I mean, we're talking about all this stuff up here. All these guys on this track know that it's fair game out here. And I mean, basically what you just saw right there on the track, I mean, a little bit of door bang on Nicholas Vickery with the 5 machine there, and you see him pressing him up against the wall. You're going to see that, so you're not giving him any inch on the track.
No, not at all. And like I said, you don't want to just full on ram a guy because you don't want to damage your own car. But, you know, getting side by side and you know, pushing someone up the track or, you know, pushing them off the line or whatever they want to be in, you know, that's all fair game here. And you'll see that happen.
The pit maneuver, man, the pit maneuver.
No, the pits are too far out of the way here. I don't think you'll see that.
The pit maneuver, getting them, you know, catching them in the back rear, pit maneuver. You know what I'm talking about? You know, like the pit maneuver. Yeah, you know,
the turning, the hooking them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. To me, that would probably be the best way of doing it without really damaging a lot of your car.
Yes and no, because that guy that gets turned, you know, if he turns his wheel the wrong way, before he knows it, he's back in your lap and you're a wreck on a wreck. So you've just got to be careful what you're doing. You got to be smart.
It's going to be a crazy one. And if you missed the last one, again, it's going to be a while. We're going to keep it up. But qualifying's done. Nicholas Vickery's going to put it out front. We're going to go straight in to the racing. Here we go, folks. Endurance style, like we say, pretty much about anything can go. There is a limit, though, to what we were just talking about and what you want to do. You'll see some guys coming back on the track, and who knows who's going to win this thing, but we're going to grid it up. Nicholas Vickery out front. Tommy Gom, we're going to start in second. You're seeing Tommy on the Thursday nights there, but he's here tonight. Andrew Smith in third. Zach Chapman there in fourth, Patrick Spangler fifth. We got Terry Landis in sixth, Tom Taylor seventh, GJ Boydell starting eighth, Nathan Aldridge ninth, Stephen Spees in 10th, Mark Nee, in 11th, Nicholas Shell in 12th, Daniel Vault 13th, Aiden Young up in 14th, Benjamin Kelsch. I said that right?
Yep,
in 15th.
Ben Kelsch. Yep.
And you going to race, John?
No, I want no part
of
this.
You're 15th, man. And Cecil Kirkpatrick 16th, Gary Pepe at 17th, and Jason Ferguson. Why you need to get out there and beat and bang with them guys, man?
Oh, I don't know.
What's the worst that could happen? You're not finished.
Well, this is true. I've already DQ'd myself, so I couldn't if I wanted to. But,
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you know, maybe I'll hop in one of these. We do these about every season, so maybe I'll grab one here eventually and do one.
See, now this would be the kind of race that I could get into. See, because you know, see,
why don't you? I can do this up here. You get down there.
This would be the kind of racing. Now, this is built for the amateur guys like me. All right, that's going to hit everything on the track, anyways. So now it's legal to hit everything on the track. I just got to be careful on not getting DQ'd. So there you go. If you just like hitting stuff, or just like me, just aren't that good on the dirt. There you go. This race is perfect for you.
You actually might be guys like you would be an advantage if you came in and did this, because you know you have no history on track with anybody in the league, so no one's going to really be aiming at you. So
I'd be going around this thing so slow. That'd be my strategy, going slow around the track.
Yeah, that very well may get the
job
done.
Try to avoid
too.
Everybody, you know. Yeah. Go down on the low side, you know, stay on the low side, let everybody pass you. All right, go ahead, you're good, man.
Yeah, and we've seen it. I think a majority of these guys, if not all of them, will make a pit stop at some point to fix damage. I mean, that if history serves.
Oh, that last one they did. I mean, we saw guys coming in and out. Some guys were like 3 or 4 laps down, but by the time they ended the end of the race, they were back on the lead lap. We've seen it several times because other guys would get, just because you were the leader. And that's another thing. Just because you're the leader in this race does not mean you're going to be safe. Because the last time we saw it with the leaders of the race, they weren't.
Yeah, and that's a big part of the reason, though, too, that I'm not in it. And I'm not a fan of these cars. I don't like driving them. So, if you don't have fun doing this, no matter what it is, you shouldn't be out on the track. This is here to have fun, community, everything else. But what a cool event to cap the Steve King Memorial Night off here. And then once again, I can't iterate it enough. If you're watching, you just tuning in, go to c2crl.com and grab a T-shirt that supports the charity event we got coming up in 2 weeks.
Right, buy the shirt.
Buy the shirt.
All right, pace trucks in. Here we go. Endurance style. Who's going to survive the mayhem and carnage here tonight of the street stocks? You already see Tommy Gom gets a jump out front. They're about 3 and 4 wide to mid-pack. Everybody right now is kind of taking it, easy, so to speak. Taking it as a race. But we'll see when the word we're looking for, when the patience wears out.
Yeah, and this being 75 laps, I noticed that they had 10 gallons of gas, and I think the last time we do this, if memory serves me correct, it actually came down to a fuel mileage race.
It did, and it came down to somebody just basically out there at very, very slow, didn't have half a car. It was just a wild one right now, and you can see Tommy Gom right now. I mean, all these guys right now are kind of treating it as just, hey, it's a normal race, being very patient on the track, but But you talked about it. It's an endurance. Got to get that psyche out there. And right now, but here comes Chapman on the inside. He's going to try for that lead.
Yeah, Zach is much like his other teammate, Connor. Those two cats only got one speed. They want to go.
There you go. That's what we're talking about right there. Did not give him much room. Chapman went up there, got a little bit of trade paint. Love seeing it side-by-side racing. And that's what it is. But here you go. Chapman again with a slide job on the inside. Here comes Gom. Good crossover. So battle for the lead.
Yeah, and that was a good illustration of, you can give a guy really anything, but you don't really have to wreck him. We got one around coming out of turn 4.
TJ Boydell.
Looked like he may have had a little help there, but
oh yeah.
Hey, he can get going, and it's a long race here.
As you still see, everybody's kind of spread out just a little bit. You got Mark Nee hanging on 11th. You got to go kind of round about Mark Noel. Just go saying Mark Nee, and then guess what? Boom, he's around.
Yeah, Boydell.
Actually, Aiden Young in there too.
Yeah, Boydell, who just got turned around lap before, just made up 2 spots just like that.
Nice. See that 101 machine.
I'm telling you, I complain about the dust in the midget when we've been here and the late model, but I'm looking at this dust starting to kick up from these street stocks, and this is the worst I've seen it already, and we still have a long way to go. Wow.
Yeah, it's huge right now, and you can see it. So about mid-pack, you can see guys now starting to get a little bit racy around about that 4th and 5th place spot. Tom Taylor, Andrew Smith, Steven Spees and company, but yeah, from the view here, you can see that the cars are getting lost in the dust.
Yeah, and what's more is if you're on that top side, you lose where that cushion is and go over right there like Tom Gom just did.
Right now, guys are just kind of being a little bit, I think they understand that incident limit might have them a little bit scared. As you see, Nee, unfortunately, wrecking again. Leader's going to go by him.
That incident level's got to be in their back of their mind. I don't know if necessarily scared of it. But
oh, Spangler.
Jeez, whoa. That's a tough re-entry.
Yeah, just ouch.
And you just got to be aware of it. And, pick your moments. If you got a guy that's mirror driving you and blocking you, well, you know what? You might put a bumper to him and go ahead and just be done with it.
Now, Chapman is out front. He's got about almost a 2.5, 3 second lead over the second place Landis. Now do you start, if you're back in second, third, fourth, or fifth, do you start going, making deals with your teammates going, all right, Chapman's a little bit too far out there. We need to slow him down.
Yeah, I don't know if those conversations, I'm sure they might be going on. But, you know, Chapman being out front as far as what he is, these cars are Chapman's wheelhouse. Zach loves these cars. This is what he came in the league. In fact, I think he was our first street stock champion. So this cat's really quick in these cars. But if I'm in those first couple of cars, it's not so much that I'm worried about running Zach down. I'd be watching that fuel and start doing calculations in my head and seeing exactly, you know, what the fuel burn is and making sure you've got enough to get to the end.
Nicholas Shell coming back on the track here. And when he does, guess what? Spangler, wrong place, wrong time, and Shell pays the price for it. And then the 14 gets into him. G.J. Boydell sliding on the track. Tom Taylor's
tough.
Around.
Once you get committed to a lane and all of a sudden there's a car there, you know, it's tough to get her woed up and get, you know, in a different lane quickly.
Got Tom. He went up on the wall there just a little bit. In the meantime, Vickery's still hanging on to second. Landis there in third. Gom falling back to the fourth place, and Tom Taylor is off the track.
And it looks like Nia is too down the backstretch. I think that's Nia back there.
Nia.
Someone's going to the pits, so.
Oh, that's Patrick Spangler going to the pits. Watching it over here as I see him, you know, going in and out. Meantime, now they're getting a little racy about that third place spot. You got Tommy Gom, Terry Landis and company.
Yeah,
it's about the third, fourth, fifth place spot.
Yes, everywhere from Speeds. I mean, there's not a whole lot of distance between those guys, and only being about 20 laps in. Nice thing is, long way to go. Everybody can afford to be patient. Maybe keep those incident points in their hip pocket to the end when you might actually have to move somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, one over.
Wow, that's Terry Landis. Oh man,
he's in that car going, I know I should have been on the low side.
Just see it right now, and unfortunate. Yeah, Landis right there again in the wall on the inside. So
he just had to gun it to back it down the track to go, and then, you know, being in enduro racing, no cautions, you know, you don't want to tow. Yeah, put you in the position where you have to figure out how to turn her around on the track. And as a driver, you've just got to know, hey, next corner, there could be a guy sitting sideways turning around on the track. You have to be ready for that.
And that dust, you can't see,
lap.
you know?
Oh, you can.
We got Aiden hanging on. He's got a good battle going on here around about the 7th and 8th place spot. That's with the 014 machine there in the mix with the 94. So those guys kind of got a little bit racy. 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, right now, you know, coming up here on lap 23, 24, you know, we're getting to that, you know, a third of the way through mark. So starting to shake out, and you start making plans. Okay, for this next third of the race, where do I want to be? You know, what do I need to do? That kind of stuff.
Well, Chapman is coming up on a lot of lap traffic. He's still got about 2-second lead over Vickery. Vickery was able to climb about a half a second. That's because you see Chapman coming up on it. And this is where Chapman's got to be careful. You know, you don't want to give up that lead, and these guys are just not going to roll over because one, you know, normally we would see it in a normal race. The guys would just, you know, kind of get out of the way. Well, here, I mean, you really just don't got to get out of the way.
Yeah, and a lot
They're going
of
to make it
times,
hard for him. Let's say it that way.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, the rule of thumb that we ask our drivers is, look, if you're about to go lap down, hold your line. So, I mean, Tom Taylor's up there. He's not doing anything wrong. He's running the line. He's been running
It's not
lap after lap.
traditional race, though, man.
No, it's not. But you know what? It's the leader's job to get around you.
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing to have, though, as a leader is you come up to a guy and you see him running the top side, and you're like, okay, here I go for the pass. You dive down low. Well, at that same time, he's like, oh, God, the leader's right there. I'm going to move down. And next thing you know, you two wreck. So that's why you just want the guy to just run where you've been running. Don't make any sudden changes when the leader gets to you.
Oh, yeah. But in a race like this, lap traffic can make it tough. I mean, I know Chapman's got to be in the back of his mind thinking, all right, which one of these guys are going to try to wreck me here? Because, and that's the whole premise of what this is really is, it's unorthodox, it's an endurance. Yes, it kind of has that anything goes kind of feel to it. So Chapman has to think about, if I get close to one of these cars, are they going to try to pinch me off the track or up against the wall? Or it's got to be nerve-wracking as a leader.
Yeah, and right now he's in a good spot. The next car he's got is his teammate Aiden Young up there, so you know that won't be that difficult.
Well, that might be the worst one. Now, you tell me, John, you wouldn't want to like move one of your teammates?
No, I wouldn't do that to my teammate.
Come on now.
See, that's part of the reason why I wouldn't do this. I don't know that I would do it to anybody, to be honest with you, unless Zach went over.
I see. That's what I'm saying. A little bit of mistake, and that's all it takes. Steven Spees now closes in,
Yep.
and just like that, he had a 2-second lead. Chapman did, or excuse me, Victory. Actually, yeah, Chapman had a lead and he lost it. Now Victory's up front. So just like that, he had almost a 2-second lead, and he lost it just by going off the track. And
looking at Steven Spees' view and Chapman's view, going into the corner, they can't see. I can tell that, especially going into 3. So they're really at a disadvantage there. And once Vickery gets around his teammate here, he's got clean track there that he can see. And, he's going to have a real advantage here coming off the corner.
Well, you see Victory out front, Spees right there, down low. Chapman's in with him. And those two are going to go door to door. Who's that? Tommy Gomes back. Well, Tommy Gomes a little further. Chapman's got a lap car down low, 72 machine.
Yeah. The top 3 are under a blanket. And, Gomes isn't too far behind there. So, again, the chess match continues. 35 laps are coming up on the halfway here.
Old 72 is Chapman. Who's that behind him? That's
that's Tom
that's
Taylor.
Gone. Who's in the 14th? Who's in the 14th? GJ Boydell?
Nope, it's a 14.
Tom Taylor.
And then the guy behind him is Tom Gom.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of get them all confused right there. Just kind of, in between when the lap cars and up front. Still got Spees. He's working over the back end of Victory right now.
Yeah, still just a little over halfway to go. Just easy to just take your time here and just slowly work it.
I want to see somebody run somebody over.
Give it time. I think it'll come here in the last.
We want the bump and run. All right, look, we need a chat out there. We want to see the bump and run and buy the shirt.
This is really good racing, though.
It is good racing. I'll give them credit, yeah. Maybe we need to put more incident limits on all the other races because it is kind of calm these guys.
We did lower it down to 12, and it seemed to have an effect in all our classes except for maybe Thursday night where incidents are still a little higher than what we'd like to see. But all in all, if incident levels, you lower them, it means you got to take care of your stuff. Use your head.
Nathan Aldridge's in the pit right there. There's Andrew Smith back here in the 6th place spot at Aiden Young hanging on the 7th. Most of the close quarter is happening here for the lead with Spees, Victory, Chapman, who Chapman had almost a 3-second lead at one time. And like I said before, once you start getting into the lap traffic or catching lap traffic, danger lurks around every corner, and just one little slip up for Chapman, and now it's got him back in 3rd with Victory out front.
Yeah, I'm watching Spees just stalk Nick here, and I've been in that position where I've been in front of Steven, and the guy is so patient, and he just incrementally tries a little something here, and he learns something almost every lap to use against you. So when he's ready to make his move, he puts it all together, and you just got to hope that you're just a little better than him because he's just so damn patient and smart.
And also there's one other step that in this race here that you got to add on. Like you said, he's sitting back there stalking, but going through the mind of Victory is when is Spees going to try to make a wild move and maybe move me or something like that, because it's in, usually like what you said, Victory's like, well, he's got to just come around me somehow, But here he could do a little bit more. Let's say it that way.
I know both these guys well and raced around them enough. They're not going to dirty each other up too much until maybe the last 5 or 6 laps. Then I'll be interested to see. I don't think they'll wreck each other, but I do think I think you're going to see some really
I'd break
close.
my mama to win this race. I mean, really? If it was legal. See, that's the thing. See, that's what takes it the difference in this race. It's legal to do it. And
it is, but
that's the thing. John's just trying to be too nice out here, folks. Me, hey, this is an endurance race. It's
not
love and
anything
war
nice.
on the track.
There's still there's some drivers. I'll make no bones about it. If I'm running second, they're running first in a race like this. 5 to
run them
go.
over. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll move them off the track. And a large reason is because, well, they've probably done it to me at some other point in time.
Yeah.
But when you have mutual respect between drivers, even in a race like this, you don't really want to break that respect too much. You'll lean on a guy, but you're not going to outright just dump him to win a race. If you guys got a long history of racing clean and hard and enjoying. Now there's some guys that will. I'm not one of them.
there.
Oh, Steven got door slammed by
traffic,
a lap car.
And then that's the dangers of lap traffic. Just never know what's going to happen right there. Speed's kind of got a little bit of trouble as you see Victory out front.
And this will tell you a lot here, because Steven now fell a couple of car lengths behind Vickery. So if Steven runs right back into him, gets back on his bumper, that's going to tell you Steven's a little quicker than Nick.
Yep.
And that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds over the next 20 laps.
Yeah, it is. And you got Chapman, who has just fallen off the pace, who had a definitely fast machine early on, but just cannot get that speed back because he's about 2 seconds back from the leader. Back in third, Tommy Gomes right there hanging on to fourth place. Daniel Vaught up in fifth. Andrew Smith in sixth. Aiden Young seventh. G.J. Boydell, he's in the mix right there in about the eighth place. Terry Landis in ninth. Patrick Spangler's, from what I'm looking at, is going to be the first car a lap down.
Yeah,
look at Speed. So Speed's going for the lead.
Yeah, and there's my point. He ran him back down, but right now Vickery
got into the lap car.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's a tough break for Nick. And now the shoe's on the other foot. Nick is really fast. Let's see if he can run these guys back down.
Oh, boy, just like that, anything can change, and that puts a huge lead for old Steven Speeds is out front. But that just goes to show you that, anything can happen on a track like this. You see Tommy Gom right there trying to get around the lap car. 5:12, which is Nicholas Shell. Shell's just having fun out there. So, interesting to hear. I mean, I know y'all out there in the chat world, what's y'all's take on the race out here? And I mean, John up here's talking about, see Shell just go right off the track. What's y'all's take on it? I mean, what would be your strategy in this race? Like I said before, a race like this is probably built for a guy like me because I'm gonna hit everything anyway. So now it's legal and nobody's gonna protest me or kick me out of the league for doing it. I just got to watch out for the insulin limit. I'd probably be out here trying to drive as easy as I can, and then maybe towards the end, hopefully I was still there, and if somebody tried to go around me, I'm gonna make that car very wide.
Yeah, and that's all fair. That's what you got to do here. So it's a neat night, neat race, neat format. What a nice way though to end the Steve King Memorial Night here. And once again, I know a broken record and all that. We've got a event coming up, sponsored through the Steve King Foundation that we work with to help a kid named Brody Sim out, who has some injuries. And right now, if you can actually go, and if you want, you can give $5, $10. You can also go out and get yourself a T-shirt, a really nice, sharp T-shirt. Just go to our website at c2crl.com and buy a T-shirt. You wear it out to your local track and whatnot, and it's a great cause, and all the proceeds for the T-shirt will go to Brody. The more T-shirts we sell, the better that will be too.
There you go. Like I said, I just said before, just go to c2crl.com and just buy the shirt. So awesome, awesome right there for Brody, as that'll be coming up here in the next week or so.
Yep, and the cars that we'll be running won't be these street stocks, but it'll be the 305s and the Pro Late models. So if you're watching and you're not part of the league, but you run those cars, you like those cars, you want to be, this event's open to anybody in the league. Just go to our website and you can sign up for the race and come out and race with us.
Good run so far. Still, though, here's our endurance race here tonight. Kind of a anything goes style race. You know, you got to watch those incident limits, though, as you only got 20. And right here, I just came on it. Yeah, see some beating and banging. Steven Speed says, "Get out the way, lap car." He was like, "Hey, get out of the way."
And then that's the third or fourth time the leaders have had issues with that particular car. And that,
but you know what?
That's
awesome.
Steven saying, "Yep, that's Steven going. That's it. I've had enough."
I love it. I mean, it's awesome, and that's what this race is all about here. Just get out here, have fun, you know. And
I hate to use Steven as the example here, but if you notice how he did it, he didn't just wreck him. He hit him with the side panel and shoved him around. You know, he did it in a manner that doesn't really damage his car.
Now,
he
on the
used
flip side of that,
a couple incident points there to make a point.
On the flip side, though, we go back to what we were talking about earlier. You see Chapman almost fall off the track there. We go back earlier. That lap car might remember that when he comes right back around.
Absolutely.
So, you know, and again, you're right. Speeds is out there like, look, man, I've had enough. Got to wait well within his realm, but you got to understand. Boy, I tell you what, I don't know who that was in front. The 14, I think it was Tom Taylor. Chapman almost went off the track.
Yeah,
so
I think,
now we're getting exciting.
I think Boydell had a little help there. Again, you're getting down to it here. You know, you got 12 laps, 13 laps to the finish here. Guys are not going to be as patient. If you start holding guys up, Zach's in second. Oh, a little bit the contact between Victory.
Victory got on the back end. Oh, that car's around.
Yeah.
Boom.
So you're just not going to be as patient with a guy that's kind of all over the track and holding you up and being kind of a danger to you and your position there.
All right, well, let's go back up here and see. Speed's got a good lead. I mean, he's got like a almost 4-second lead over Chapman. Chapman has moved away from Victory. Victory's hanging on right there. You still see it. Tell you what, Shell's just having a hard time. That car's all tore up and all over the place.
Oh, he's got damage now.
Chapman's off the track.
Yeah, he is. That's going to cost him a couple of spots, but he's making his way back on the track. Let's see if he can get it back.
Yep, Gom got around him. Victory got around him, puts Chapman in the back. I mean, he had a huge lead earlier in the race. Meanwhile, Speed's out front leading this one.
Yeah, and now Speeds has got a big enough lead, 10 to go. I would almost be managing, you know, I would be up as close as what I could be to that 51 and managing the gap. As long as those guys didn't get too far behind me, I'm just staying the hell away from everybody at this point.
Well, I got to bring it up because at some point, somebody out there has got to be like, can somebody slow Speeds down for us, please? You know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I DQ'd myself, or I could be up there probably.
Hey, man, how you go, John?
You know the rival we have. I might wreck him, but everybody else no.
Victory would love you for it.
Yeah, if I'm running second and I wreck him and I take over first, you know, it'll give him a spot, but not the win.
Chapman with that move right there on the inside. Oh, what's going on here? Tommy Gom's got Aiden Young. They're beating and banging with each other a little bit.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for Zach. Zach's going to get caught up in them horsing around like that.
Hey, yeah, it is. And that's just the joys of it. They're 3 wide. Oh,
and there it goes. That's it. Yep. Zach's going to get caught up in those two horsing around like that.
Oh, and then Tommy goes into the wall slamming it hard. Oh, wow.
And here comes your leader around while you got all these cars turning around. And if he's got to check up not to hit these guys, Vickery has now got himself clear and is coming. You know, he's got 5 laps to get there. Now you're seeing these guys get chippy. I'm watching a lot of guys start moving anybody in front of them at this point.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're getting near the final closing laps now. I mean, it's I'm just waiting to see if somebody gets up there on Speeds. I mean, the leader's not safe right now.
No, he's not. Not with the guys that he's running around. You've got one car along the back is going to come shooting back on.
Oh, there you go. He came on the track in front of the leader.
Wow.
Uh-oh. It's what you don't want to be.
No, and then Boydell's blocking. But lucky he's got a big enough lead, and hopefully he's kind of watching that gap. So as much as he's going to want to really mess with these guys, Steven's got to be really smart here.
You notice he slowed up just a little bit and let those guys in front of him kind of get away, and I think he's using that, like I say, the relative, because he knows.
Yeah, and keep in mind, you saw two guys horsing around that cost Zach Chapman, a spot.
Mhm.
So, if these two guys start battling up there, Steven puts himself in a bad position. Nick's going to be right there to take advantage and win this race now with just a couple left to go here.
It's only 3.7, so he's only knocked a couple tenths off. It's a white flag. Probably won't matter at this point. I mean, that 14 would have to do something crazy to Spees, and almost right there, losing it.
Yeah.
Out of turn 4. Looks like he's going to be okay. Spees is going to win it and survive. Victory's going to survive in second. Chapman will bring this thing home in third. What a wild one. See if we can't get some word in with these guys here tonight. It's Chapman right there, like you say, coming home in the third place spot. But Steven Spees winning it here tonight. Can't find him right off here. And victory. Is that victory? Maybe victory. All right, there he is. Bring up third place man, Chapman. Get a word with him.
Hey, Zach, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's going on, John? How you doing?
Not too bad. Crazy little race there. No cautions and kind of a Wild West shootout kind of deal. You bring it home, third place, nice podium position. Tell me about the craziness you had to see or dodge or cause or, walk me through it.
Well, I mean, I gave it away. I had like a 3-second lead and drove over the edge a couple times. Once I was lucky being out front. I didn't have the dust to deal with. I could hear Steven and Aiden and Daniel talking about it, and I was like, man, not too bad up here. But once I got behind lap cars, oh man, with that dust, it's a whole nother animal in these things.
Yeah, we were commenting on the broadcast. I could see if you were behind a car, especially entering into 3, forget about it. You just had to use the force to kind of get in there. But, it was a different race than what we've seen in these enduro races. I didn't see, too many, hey, there's the leader, let's take him out kind of things. That looked like almost more like a race, an enduro race. Did you kind of get that same sense out there?
Yeah, I did. We were talking in the Discord here, like, hey, we bumped this guy, should we do this? And we were all just saying, let's kind of just keep it a race until somebody does something to us. And it stayed that way the whole time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were talking about. Joe's all about, hey, everything's legal, let's go for it. And, I'm up there basically doing the same thing that you guys were, hey, there's a lot of guys, mutual respect, you run different leagues together. You don't want to knock them out of the way until something's done. That I don't know, unwritten code, I guess. I don't know what it was, but that was entertaining to watch. Nice podium position. Anybody want to give a shout out here too?
Big shout out to you and the rest of the guys at Gambler, Steven, Daniel, Aiden. I wouldn't be as good as I am without you guys. I really owe it to you guys.
You won a street stock championship without us, so you're being a little modest there. You're pretty good in those cars, but hey, congratulations again. Great run tonight. That's Zach Chapman, our third place finisher.
Yeah, absolutely, doing an outstanding job. Just being able to run that thing in third place here tonight. Well, this guy here though, Nicholas Vickery, pulling it off and hanging on to second.
Hey Nicholas, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing good. But before I even start your interview on this, I want to just publicly apologize for getting into you in that 30 or 360 race there, and that was my fault completely. So do want to say sorry about that. But apart from that, second place run, and I kind of an anything goes kind of race. Do you find anything crazy? See anything crazy? Did you have to do anything crazy to kind of get back to where you were?
Yeah, so, when I originally got the lead, I saw Speeds coming. Might done a little mirror driving, trying to figure out what his line was. And he was going low, kind of low slider in 1 and 2, and then high in 3 and 4. So I started doing that, and then we both went to the top. And he was racing me, obviously really clean, and I feel like he was faster than me. And then we started to catch some lap cars, and he kind of fell back in line a little bit. And then kind of disaster struck, and I got into Boydell. I think it was my fault. I think I come up the racetrack on him. So no fault of his, but yeah, I just kind of ran out of time there. I got back around Gom and Chapman, but just didn't have enough time to catch Spies. And I was talking to Spies in the waiting room, and he even said that once he saw the gap, he was trying to stay behind lap cars because he knew that it was just a matter of time when laps ran out. So.
Yeah, that was probably the smart strategy, because Zach got himself in trouble with two guys kind of beating and banging in front of him, and some of those guys, long race like that, the awareness kind of goes away. You just kind of get locked into what you're doing and forget who's around you. So that's probably a good strategy.
Especially with all that dust too. It was extremely dusty.
Yeah, it looked really bad going into 3. We commented a couple times there throughout the race, and I'll tell you though, I honestly think if that was a 100-lap enduro, that sure would have been an interesting finish, because I think you two would have been locked together again to fight that out.
Yeah, and I wish that I hadn't made that mistake and come up, because him and I were. It seemed like every corner I could see his fender, coming up behind my bumper, and I felt like he had the momentum, but he was maybe just coasting a little bit, because it was still early in the race when him and I were together. So. Yeah,
and Steven's really good at being patient and stalking. God knows I've been in front of him enough to where it's just like, dude, come on, man. So, but hey, great run tonight. And again, sorry about the contact earlier, man. We always run each other fairly clean most of the time and whatnot. So, that one's on me. So anyway, congratulations. And anybody want to give a shout out here too?
Yeah, and actually I didn't know what paint scheme I had on my car. And I actually have an old wrap name that I used to paint cars under on my car, and I was like, oh geez, that's not good. But first off, with Spartan Racing, the good group of guys, we're trying to have a good showing here tonight in the demolition derby at least, and I think we had some pretty decent showings in the 305 and 360, so that was good. And then Miriam Machado Spa, VMR Wraps, you guys for doing this, and my wife for letting me do this as well.
Yeah, I think your Spartan guys had good runs all the way through, but that's not unusual for you guys. You guys are probably one of the top tier teams in here. So, but hey, good run all around, and congratulations on your second place finish tonight. That's Nick Cookery with second place tonight.
Like I said, man, coming home second place with a good run. As always, let's bring this guy up here, Stephen Speeds, putting it in victory lane. Stephen, Joe in the booth, got a copy?
I got you, Joe.
Well, I tell you what, how was that hanging on up there? And I gotta ask, it being an endurance race, I was up here talking about running people over. John was saying, kind of be really respectful on the track. What's your take on how this thing unfolded for you?
Well, I came expecting a big dumpster fire of a crash fest and people pushing each other over the hill, and like a race broke out there in the middle of it. So, I'm happy with that, though. It turned out okay for me that way.
Absolutely, it did. Now, you got a little tangled up with some lap traffic there and got there at the end. Was that kind of worrying you a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. I think there was one or two guys that were targeting anybody that was trying to pass them. So I had a couple close calls there, and at the very end, I was behind a couple of guys, and I had enough gap. So I just tried to do my best to stay behind them and stay out of trouble and bring home the checkers instead of getting a big old kaboom somewhere in the middle of the turn.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you was able to survive, get out here in the endurance race, look good all night long. You got anybody, though, you want to thank for this awesome win here tonight in these endurance for the stock cars?
Yeah, thanks to everybody for actually kind of trying to make it a race, instead of just a pure demo derby. I don't mind enduro and contact and stuff like that, but where you can still race even if you do have contact, it's so much more fun than just targeting people. So thanks for all the guys that did race tonight. Kind of making it fun. Thanks to Epsilon Sprint Wraps for putting the wrap on the street stock. To Cool Ray for being the overall league sponsor. We really appreciate Andy stepping up and doing that for everyone. And, thanks for you to hanging out with us a couple nights a week, Joe. And
no
your
doubt about
co-host
it.
there too, one night a week. But
It's a good
one.
one.
Doesn't really need a byline.
He forgot to thank me for not entering, so he could win.
You're just.
Well, I was going to thank you, Joe, for taking John on Wednesday nights because it's really a nice, pleasant, quiet atmosphere in the
Yeah, I
Gambler
know. That's
chat
what
on
he tells
Wednesdays.
me. He goes, when he's down there, he gets me.
Yeah, he's yelling at us, telling us, don't break his cars. He's the boss. All
Well,
these
he
things.
should be
It's
good.
crazy.
He should be proud. I mean, like I said, Gambling Motorsport guys had a good showing here in endurance race. And like you said, it turned out being a good race, even though I was always throughout and out going, all right, when is somebody going to run somebody over here? So, because it could happen.
Everybody was looking for it. It just, I think somebody was waiting for a driver to be the first one to just take somebody out, and then all hell would have broke loose. But
Hey, no
it didn't
doubt.
happen, luckily.
But I tell you what, still came home, brought Lake City Gambling Motorsports guys to the front, put in the victory here. As always, again, congratulations on that win, Steven.
We'll catch you next time. Thanks.
All right. Well, tell you what, John. Hey, a good showing there. And like I said, just a fun all-in-all race for these guys to come out. What a night it was, too. Ed, like I said, the Stephen King Foundation, the 305s, and these endurance here with the street stocks, John. It was awesome.
Yeah, great night, great cause tonight to raise awareness for it. And for the last time, I want to say, hey, if you're out there, go to c2crl.com, order one of those T-shirts, and help out the Brody Sim, young man who not only overcome cancer but now has some injuries he needs to overcome. Has got a long road ahead of him. Everything that we can do to support this young man would just be fantastic and grateful. And again, to the Steve King family, his memory and his legacy lives on. I know it's been some years now since his passing, but with this foundation and all the people he's helped and lives his foundation has touched and changed. What a great legacy to have there, and it's just an honor for all of us to be part of it.
And as always, we're going to leave here tonight for the Hometown Heroes. Hope everybody enjoyed it. For myself and everyone, have a good night.